And good evening, welcome to Sunday Rum Day. Tonight, coming up in tonight's show, tonight's a little bit of a different show because tonight is dedicated to Flor de Cana. I said the whole range, I meant the four that I've got. So we're going to be looking at the 4, the 7, the 12 and the 18. There's no drama of the week, there's no members cocktails. We're going to be doing a tasting of this. If you've got any of these rums at home, feel free to get them out and we can have like a joint sort of tasting going on, and we can go, as we're always going to do, we're going to do this through the sort of Rum X app as well. So that's what's coming up in tonight. This was all spurred on by quite a few comments I've been getting recently, and something I haven't actually shared with you, and I've been guilty of this myself over the last few months, but I actually realised this quite a few months ago and just completely and utterly forgot about it. So there's some knowledge bombs coming around Flor de Cana. But as I said, tonight it is focused on the 4, the 7, the 12 and the 18. If you've got the rums at home, we're going to be working through in order, starting off with the white, and then we're going for the 7, and then we're going to be doing some daiquiris, we're going to be doing some cocktails, some rum and cokes, all that sort of stuff, as I would do the tasting videos. It's going to be a very interactive show. Purely because I wasn't sure how many people were going on. It's Jubilee weekend in the UK. It's Britain's Got Talent final on as well. So God knows how many people were going to tune in. But that's what's in store. So I've got the eagle eyes amongst you. For those of you not in my membership community, will have also spotted something else behind me. But before we go any further, I'll get it right side. Yeah, there we go. Smash that like button on your way in. I've got to say hello to people in the old comments here so far. So Steve B, Nick Bradley, Nick from York, Ross, Sean, Kevin. Oh, thanks for coming, Kevin. Welcome to the show. Andy, Georgie, Fit Georgie. She's not that old, she's just fit. Private in joke. Neil, Lee, Karen. Hello, Karen. I'm going to call you Karen. Kevin again. Oh, Kevin's here twice. Gus, who else is here? Claire's here. Havana Steve and Andy B. I've said hello to Andy B. Hello, Andy B again. But Havana Steve over in Ireland. So if you are new here, if you've just literally started following me because of a certain thing that you might have received through the post, then welcome for the first time, but I'm not expecting too many more newbies until next week. For those of you that have got it already, hello, welcome, this is me. And all that will be revealed next week, because next week's show is the second Craft Rum Club. So that's that. So there's no timestamp. Well, there'll be timestamps for the rums, but there's no loose schedule this week. Because I don't know when we're going to get sidetracked, what we're going to be chatting about, because the first thing I've got to tell you might sort of blow a few people's minds anyway. But yeah, so before we go any further, the eagle eye, not in my membership area of the Discord, not people that don't check out the community tab, we've had a little bit of a refurb. I might just have to get rid of, oops, sorry, wrong one. Yeah, that's the one. I might just have to get rid of that. As you can see, I've got an extra 2 shelves in here now. All the spiced rums are still here, but the spiced rums are off camera a little bit, and they're all up on the top shelf out there. So all my liqueurs and all that are here. My Giffard, all my Giffards are right there now beside me. I've got rid of a load of syrups that I never use. They'll all go to drink stuff. So it's all the liqueurs and that there. A few syrups. But the rum plantation's got virtually its own sort of shelf there, up to there. We've got a few loose odds and sods. We've got, I tried to group them together so it makes sense. But kind of, you know, they are sort of loosely about. We've got sort of like the Guyanan and sort of Navy style sort of rums up to there. We've got Antigua, we've got St. Lucia. Sort of a mix and match because I've only got 1 or 2 of those. So we've got the Panama, the Venezuela, Dominican. We've got the Compañeros up there. We have got, where have we got? Right, so we've got a few more Guyanans there. We've got Barbados there. We've got Nicaragua. We've got Trinidad down there. This shelf, except capped. I'm not sure if that on screen. Is Windy about to? Yeah, that's on screen. So 5+5 is capping, and the Santiago is capping the whole Jamaican shelf. So all that lot there is Jamaican, and then down the bottom I've got sort of Cuban, Puerto Rican up to there, and then the English, the UK brands across the bottom there. So we've had a little bit of an organisation. there's a bit of space now to, this is not all the rums, it's kind of the rums that I wanted to sort of showcase behind here, the rums that I want to grab from time to time. But there's plenty of room now for expansion. We can get rid of a few of the boxes so they can come out when I get another rum. Maybe get with the Eldorado 15, for instance. We can push that along if we get another, what's that? Boilo. We can push that along and get rid of the Pussers box there. We can get loads more sort of plantation up there. Yeah, so I'm kind of happy about that. I did have 2 attempts because I was away for a few days down in Brighton. I did sort of do this Tuesday. And then I wasn't happy with it. So some of you saw the original one. I kind of wasn't happy because there was a bigger gap there. So I then played about sort of Friday night and kind of rejigged it yet again. But I've got 2 shelves, and to get to the top shelf up there of the spiced rums, I need a step. So I've got on the top shelf, I've got like the honey rums, the bullions, the slide dogs, the 5 rivers, the mad cities up there. I've got the coconut rums, I've got all the Hursties. They're just off screen there, but they are there. So let me know what you think of that. Let's put let's put that back on. Right, anyone else just joined us recently? Who can I go through? See, says. Hi, Says and Daz in Manchester. Who else we've got? Joe Wicks, hello Joe. Kay's here. Fuzzbuzz, hello Fuzzbuzz. And awesome. Claire's been drinking since midday. We'd love to have your Jamaican rum shelf, although Daz is working towards it. Good lad, Daz, good lad. So, yeah, so happy with that. There was something else I had to tell you. What else was I telling you? Oh, yeah, so part of me, so I've sort of had the week off. I haven't actually filmed a video now in 2 weeks. So I've gone into kind of business mode, creating mode, working on the business instead of in the business. So lots of things planned and sort of penned and thought about going forward. One of the things that will be happening, hopefully making a start on that next week, will be blogs. I do love writing a blog. It's kind of spur because I've had to do 2 now, very recently. One for the Craft Rum Club, and another for something else. But I do like a blog. So I'm going to be doing regular blogs on my website. So it'll be extra content, and that'll be kind of focused on stuff that I know probably won't go on to get too many views on the YouTube channel. So stuff that I like to talk about, plenty of cocktail recipes on there, because I know the cocktail recipes don't really get too many views. Here, rum cocktail recipes I'm talking about, it don't really get too many views on the channel. So all that sort of stuff will live on the website starting for this week. I've kind of reorganised a few things. It hasn't kind of gone live yet. I'm just waiting for the first one to go up. But for those of you who didn't realise, I've got quite a huge blog anyway. Loads, absolutely loads and loads of cocktail recipes on the blog. All right, and that's just, if you click any of my links, website links, you'll find it, stevewithbarman.com. You'll find it quite easily. It just says recipes and blog. And at the moment, that will change. So yeah, been a productive week this week. I'm quite happy with stuff and going forward. There's a couple of decent projects that I'm really looking forward to getting stuck into. So yeah, that's what's happened to me. If any of you've got any cool stories about what you've been doing this week, let me know in the comments. And say, if you are just joining for the first time, I know this is going to be a slightly quieter live show this week. I get that. That's why I hadn't planned too much. That's why I didn't get any brands involved this week. Hence the Flor de Cana has just sort of come out last minute. But if there is any of you joining for the first time, smash that like button, dive into the comments. We don't do lurkers in here. I understand the people that are watching on the big screen TVs can't really comment. I get that. But if you've got your phone to hand or an iPad or on your desktop computer or whatever, dive into the comments. We don't do lurkers. Dive into the comments. Let us know where you are in the world. Let us know your favourite rums, and let me know if you are drinking anything right now. Because Nick from York, let me scroll all the way back up here. Nick from York has got his, what's he got? He's got a lovely yellow jacket. I don't know what that is. He's basically got a cold beer anyway. Swedish meal and a lager, frozen vodka. Well, we'll let him off with that. We'll let him off. Hello, Lee. Welcome. Right, so let's get rid of smash like. Let's do that. What else can I kind of tell you before we get stuck in? I don't think there's any. The Rum Shack sign is in a much better place. Yes, it's right there. The lovely jubbly's kind of being hidden, sort of. But yeah, it was in a decent place before, to be fair, but it was just kind of, it didn't really work there anymore. But yeah, I'm kind of happy with that. So before I dive into Flor de Cana, let me just talk you through what's happening next week. Next week is going to be the second Craft Rum Club live. I've already got one of the boxes. That's one of the boxes we've got there. The other box will be winging its way to me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whenever it's coming. We have got both, or should have both brands on for you, so they should have half an hour each. We can get the questions ready, we can chat to them. So that's me hosting the maker for the Craft Rum Club. That'll be here. But afterwards at 9:30, it was a bit of an admin failure on my behalf, but we're going to go with it at 9:30, and I'm going to do this at 9:30. My membership community is about 15 or 16 of us. We are getting involved in the taste along of that. They've all got, and Ross, yours is in the post. Hopefully yours, I sent it first class, so yours hopefully should be with you Tuesday, because there'll be no post Saturday. So hopefully Ross, it'll be with you Tuesday. But we have got the Plantation Jamaica 2007. You can see, so that the rest of that has gone to my membership that wanted to get involved. So yes, plus there's obviously a few of them have already got the bowl. So we're going to be having a taste along of that after we do the unboxing of the Craft Rum Club. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be a joint taste along. All of you get involved in the Rum X app. It's going to be fun. Plenty more of those to come, because that's kind of exciting. I'm kind of looking forward to that next week. So without further ado, let me just dive into the comments one final time. Rachel is on Thatcher's Rosé. She stole it off the horse box. Hope the event went well today. What was it? Tough Mudders or Muddy Races or something like that today. Hope that was all right. Fuzzbuzz is having a maple rum old fashions with ED12. Derek, hello Derek. Derek Shannon in Ireland, drinking Mount Gay Eclipse. The girlfriend brought back from Barbados. Nice, Derek, nice. No worries, assumed bank holidays, assumed Lee in Malaga in Spain. Wow, I don't think we've had a Malaga in Spain. Anne is in the house. Anne, have you got your care package yet, Anne? Trevor's got his. So hopefully you have got yours, or it should come to you in the next couple of days or so, hopefully. See, yes, Ontario in Canada. Fuzzbuzz, I knew that, because Fuzzbuzz is a member. You can see all my members, because they've got a little coloured Steve the Barman logo beside them. The kind of bronze ones, what's that? Gold. The gold ones have been members for over 12 months. The light green ones are, sorry, the silver ones are 6 months to 12 months, and then the light green ones are up to 6 months, the newer ones. But there is a platinum badge as well for those that are approaching. There's a few of them that are approaching 2 years now. So yes, of which Ross is one of those, and Kevin is one of those. And I think that might be, who else? Who else has got the platinum badges on here? Sorry, the gold badges. I can't see who else has got the gold badge. Andy B, of course, Andy B. Andy B's been in there from the start. Georgie Fensom's got, look at that. Fit Georgie's got a little gold one. So Georgie will have to slide into Discord to get the in-joke on that. Kingston 62 DAC to start things off in gloomy Lancashire. Right, so let's crack on with this. I have got, how shall I do this? Let's go on to that just for the timestamps. Let me just start off with that. So this is all Flor de Cana. Let me just get those. Just so we can, the people that are watching back on the replays over the next few weeks, we can kind of give them a reference, a point of reference. Now, I have got a bit of blurb to kind of tell you. There's a little, I'm not going too much into the history of Flor de Cana, because I'll be open and honest, I don't know it, and that doesn't, you know, if you want to go and research that sort of stuff, that's easy to find in a website. And that's not sort of stuff I take it knowledge-wise. I can read, but I don't take knowledge in through reading like that. I prefer someone to talk to me. So I really struggle to absorb knowledge where I have to read it. So in that point, I haven't got that much knowledge. But there is a couple of things to reference with Flor de Cana. They have got, how can I put this? A murky past. They don't have much love in the rum community, and they also didn't have much love in the bartender community as well in the mid sort of 2010s. And that was, it was very big in US, but it also did sort of stem into the UK quite a bit as well. So we're just going to dive very, very quickly into those things. What can I tell you about Flor de Cana that I know though? They are they're carbon neutral. So whereas we've got two drifters, for instance, So two drifters, let me just give you a close-up of them, down in Exeter by Exeter Airport. Two drifters are carbon negative, which means they take more CO2 out of the atmosphere than they put into it. Okay, so that's carbon negative. Flor de Cana are carbon neutral, so basically means they balance out. So all the CO2 the equal amount of CO2 they put into the atmosphere, they also take out of it. So they're carbon neutral in that sort of sense. They're not like other distilleries that might put more excess in there. We go stuff like planting trees and all that kind of stuff as well, helping the environment, that sort of thing. So Flor de Cana are pretty damn good at that, carbon neutral. They are as well fair trade these days. And that kind of stems from the work they've done to repair their reputation as far as bartenders goes. Now, I'm not the authority in this. I only know roughly what happened at the time, and this is going back 2014, 2015 time. Basically, it transposed. Is that the right word? Flor de Cana? Transposed? I don't know what the word is, but basically, working conditions weren't brilliant, and there was a lot of people getting ill. Like seriously ill, and I think it actually resulted in deaths that were working at the distillery, and that resulted from I can't remember the exact illnesses in that, but stuff from like cancers and all that sort of stuff. It just was basically working traditions. People, I don't know, way back in the day, there's some people thought of it as slavery and stuff like that. This is nothing to do with that. This is like really recent history, really poor working conditions. But however, they've since rectified that. Basically what happens in the industry, in the bar industry, and as I say, this was kind of started in the US, but did make it over to the UK. They basically just blacklisted suppliers, blacklisted them, bars blacklisted them. There's some famous bars that took every bottle of Flor de Cana they had and just emptied it and poured it down the sink and refused to use it again in protest to working conditions and all that sort of stuff. But as I say, they are now fair trade. They have sort of rectified that, and they've done a hell of a lot for the community. So they have kind of repaired that reputation. But there's something I want to kind of touch on that not many people realise about the brand. And as I say, I have been guilty of this because it's so easy to be guilty of this. It's so easy. But this is what I want to point out about branding and marketing. Now, I want to get one thing clear. I love Flor de Cana rums. This is not a slur on Flor de Cana at all, because even they've changed the label again. There are new labels coming out again with sugar stuff. It says basically it's not, because I think they are pretty open and honest about how much sugar that goes into them. And I'm pretty sure they don't use sugar at all. But the new labels that are coming out, and I'll give you a close up in a minute as we go through. The new labels do have zero sugar, zero additives, and all that gone into it. Now, the point that people miss here, and this is a big one. Let me just get this up to the screen so you can see it, so we can go on there. Now, Flor de Cana, have a look at the label. So, as I say, the new labels will say 0 grams of sugar there on the brand new labels. So that's what's coming. But do you notice anything about the 12 on that? It just says Centenario 12 aged naturally. What a lot of people miss about Flor de Cana, so to get you in the guessing game. Have you ever wondered why Flor de Cana rums are so cheap? The 12-year-old you can literally pick up, where is it? You can literally pick up for about £26, £27 for a 12-year-old. Bearing in mind your Appletons are 40, best buy 38, 40 quid for that. In the UK, your Eldorado 12-year-old is about 38, it's about the same price. Like the English Harbour 10-year-old is the same price, over 40 quid. Some of the plantations. Have you ever wondered why Flor de Cana are actually a damn sight cheaper? It's because that 12 is not an age statement. And many people miss that. Okay? Not once do Flor de Cana, or if they shouldn't do, I haven't looked at many others, but I've looked at the big wholesalers. Not once do the wholesalers or Flor de Cana actually tell you that that is a 12-year-old rum. They don't tell you that that's a 4-year-old rum. They never mention that that's a 7-year-old rum. And they certainly don't mention that that's an 18-year-old rum. They're just purely age statements. Now, there is no sort of as far as I can tell, there is no official line of what the 12 means, what the 18 means, what the 4 means and that. The only sort of unofficial lines that I've ever seen coming out of the distillery is an average age. So, to put that into context in some other things, for instance, let's go and let's go, I don't know whether he's here, Ready Set Rum. He kind of picked me up on this, and it's kind of what I loosely refer to this. The 1919, for instance, that has removed it ages ago, but they've removed the age statement on that. And I sort of call that loosely a 12-year-old rum, because there are 12, there are 14-year-old rums in there as far as I'm aware, but there's also sort of 7, 6, 7, 8-year-old rums in there as well. Hence, there's no age statement on there. But they don't put an age on there. There is no reference to that. Whereas, these numbers on Flor de Cana, you could argue that that is trying to lull you into being a 12-year-old rum. And as I say, it's just, there is no official line, but it's as far as I've ever learned and ever been told, that is an average. It's an average age. So yes, there will be younger rums in this. But yes, there are also older rums in this. Okay, so that is why the Flor de Cana rums are inherently cheaper. It's not because they are sort of distilled to a lesser quality or anything like that. I still firmly believe in this distillery. I love the rums from Flor de Cana. I always have done. Long-time viewers will know that this is one of my favourite rums, the 12-year-old. I absolutely love it. But it is not. And I've said it time and time again, it is not a 12-year-old rum. And for those of you really, really new to the rum journey, what age statements mean, if traditionally, and again, I don't think there's any legal stipulation for this, it's just the done thing. I don't think it's even a legal stipulation in whiskey, to be honest. It's just been the done thing since the age of time. If there is a year, if it does say aged 5 years, like let's take Richard Seal, because we know he never messes around. It says aged 5 years on the Dawley's 5-year-old. Now, what that means is the youngest rum in there will be 5 years old. Yes, there might be a 7 and 8-year-old rum in there. There might be even be a 10 or a 12-year-old rum in there. But the minimum rum in that, and probably the biggest or the most amount of rum in that, will be a 5-year-old. Okay, so the bare minimum. So what age statements traditionally refer to is the youngest rum in a bottle, whether that's every spirit category. And you're starting to get aged vodkas these days as well. So, and aged gins, cask aged gins as well. But it will traditionally refer to the youngest rum in there. So yeah, that's kind of, I just wanted to bring people's attention to that, because that has sort of flagged up a few times this week, and then I think it was Scott actually said something in the membership in the Discord, and I just thought that's what I can do on Sunday. We can do a Flor de Cana sort of rum tasting now. But as I say, that's not me having a go at them. That's just a lot of. I just wanted to get that across. A lot of the rum community, let's call them the rum geeks. We love them, but they are the rum geeks. The people that love their 80, 90, 100-pound rums, their Velliers, their Four Squares, their ECS series, and all that sort of stuff that are kind of a little bit beyond us in our journey at the moment. There is not a lot of love for Flor de Cana, purely because that, and I think they've got a 25. And I think they've got something else as well. And again, it's not a 25-year-old rum. You have to, when you're looking at labels of rums and of whiskies and whatever, unless it physically, the big one of this is Ron Zacapa, says 23 on it. Again, this is what Ron Zacapa, they were the first ones to be taken to court. And they backed down pretty damn quickly, and that was a court case in the US. I think it's still actually going on. It's a recent court case, but they're one of the first distilleries to be attacked for false marketing claims, to be honest, because they did for a long time have 23 and the word years old after it, and now they've just got 23. But the law case is still, as far as I'm aware, the lawsuit is still ongoing because people want that 23 to be more reflective. In other words, take it off because it's Solera aged. There will be no age statement on Ron Zacapa. It is not an aged rum because it is Solera aged. There cannot be an age statement to it. So yes, in the interest of clarity, I just wanted to get that across. But as I say, I flipping love these rums. I do. And that's what all that really, really matters at the end of the day. We want a bit of clarity. We want openness and all that. But some things will never change. you kind of have to know what you're looking for, and you have to read the labels to know what you're truly getting with a lot of. There will be, how should we call them? There will be chances because it happened with gin. We know full well we're going to get it with rum. There was a lot of chances that have no interest in gin. They had no interest in that. They just come along, they saw a business opportunity, got someone to distill a gin, market it, made a quick buck. We know that will happen with rum because the rum trend is coming. So you've got to look out for that in your rum journey. But that's all I'll go through, because I know there's quite a few knowledgeable people in the old comments. I just want to have a quick, so I can see Geraint piping up. Yeah, Geraint's always got some knowledge bombs, so I'll just see what he's got. Just sipping on a Kill Devil, and I'll see long to name. Just 1 week to go. Right, what's he saying again? Yeah, I think Geraint's on the same page as me. Didn't know that about the age statement. Steve! Oh, hello, Steve-o! Pluses new Deptford Dockyard Reserve limited edition available from the usual. Oh, look out. Steve-o's coming on there. Buy his stuff. Brilliant. Right. Buy his Pusses stuff. Right, let's put those back on the shelf. And let's get on with some tasting some four. Flor, it will just come out. It's a natural thing. It's just going to come out. You know you're going to put on, going to call it a 4-year-old. You know you are. I will. I know that. And I know a lot of people will. It's just one of those things. It's hard not to when there's a great big 4 written on the front of that. But we know full well there'll be some 1-2-year-old stuff in that, as well as there'll be some filtered, I don't know, 6, 5, 6, 7-year-old rum in there. Flor de Cana have, I don't think they do. I'm pretty damn sure they don't do the 5 anymore. And it might be to certain markets, but it's definitely not to the UK market or European market. I know that. But obviously they did distill some 5-year-old. You see, it's hard just to call it a 4. You're going to say 5, aren't you? So I know full well that there'll be some 5 and stuff in there. So. Right, I'm going to put this back on. Now I've said that, I've got these all prepped up. There we go. So Flor de Cana 4, just for the old timestamps, for the old people coming back in tomorrow or later tonight. The Australians, when the Australians wake up and come into the house. So, what's the response to that? Do we like that? I can see I've got the comments in both places here now. So, Steve, question: have you tried the Flor de Cana espresso? I have tried a minimal amount. I've never had a bottle of it because I've always got like 5 coffee liqueurs here. I've tried a minimal amount. I can't give you a viewpoint on it because it was just. I remember it being nice, but I need to get a bottle to kind of try it alongside other stuff. So like against the Luna, against the Mr. Black, against the Kahlua. I've got coffee liqueurs in all places. I've got flipping hundreds on me. So I can't give you a definitive yes or no on that. I know a lot of people love it, but then, you know, we've all got our own opinions. I can't even remember how sweet it was, to be honest. I've got generally no ideas. I tasted it, thought it was nice. That's going back a couple of years. No idea, apart from that. Right, really like the 12Ks in there. I think that was all the questions. Don't forget, if you have got a question, boys and girls, question in big capital letters, like Al Ho did, so I can see it nice and easy. Joe, yes, that's the one. Right, Joe, what happens? I know there's quite a few. This pops up in the Discord quite a lot. There's quite a few people that have got the 5 in there. Yes, not Drink Supermarket, well, they're called Whiskey Exchange are big ones of this, and I'm assuming Co-op are another big ones of this. They tend to buy too much stock, or they get a really good deal on loads of stock. Whiskey Exchange are massive ones for this. You'll find rums there, big rums that just sort of delisted, that you'll be able to get from them for ages and ages. For instance, going back to 2009 and 2010, when Sailor Jerry changed their recipe, you could still get the old Sailor Jerry from the Whiskey Exchange for a good 6 months afterwards. And then 2 or 3 years later, they found even more stock, but they put the price up. It was ridiculous money. And for instance, the Whiskey Exchange have still got, I think, Jim Beam Maple, which was only ever shipped over to the UK once, by what were they called? I was going to say Suntory, not Sun. What were they called back in the day? Not Beam. I forgot the word. It'll come to me in a couple of minutes. It was shipped over. We did the launch on it, and it will still have that initial limited edition, and that was 2014. 15. So if the Whiskey Exchange have still got any, you know full well that that's 7 years. 7 years they've had that and been trying to sell it. So yeah, there are a lot of things like that. I'm pretty damn sure that you will not ever be able to get the Flor de Cana 5. Again, it's fine. It's even got, as I said to you in the Discord, it's even got the old labels. So the one thing to note with Flor de Cana, these labels, and I can sort of give you a close up, and you guys that have got the 5 at home, you see this mountain, this volcano, sorry, here, hang on, where's my finger? See that volcano? On the old labels, so pre-2018, they had little white stripes coming off the, or little white outlines on the volcano. The new labels from 2018 haven't, okay? So it's just a kind of faded out volcano in the background. So the old labels have got that white sort of logo, if you like, the old white volcano on the back there. So that's how to instantly recognise that it's at least 4 years old, at least. All right, so I think that's right. Lee, Ganimal, what's it got? Sorry, my camera's right in the way of the questions there. Are all FDC Solera aged? No, they're not Solera. They're they're all barrel aged. They're not. They're 100% not Solera. 99%. 99.9% sure they're not Solera aged. They are properly aged. It's just that they use average. As I say, the 12 might have some 7, 8-year-old rums in it. But they'd average out 12. I think that's how they work. All right. So, as I say, I'm 99% confident in telling you that. But if someone from Flor de Cana wants to clear that up, be my guest. If someone from Flor de Cana watches this in the future and writes in the comments, I will quite happily come on and give you the gossip and the lowdown. And say I was wrong, actually. I'll quite happily do that. I don't mind. I'm not one of those. I'm not proud or anything like that. It's just the knowledge that as we know it. So, right, I think that's cool. Right, so let's crack on with this. So the 4. Now, just opening honestly, or clarity, I should say. Again, this is another one we don't understand from Flor de Cana, especially in the UK. We can get 2 variants of this. This, in all honesty, is a 37.5%, and they also ship over at a 40%. So, what's that? 70s are working proof for the American guys. So, what's 37? It would be 37.5. My brain is shot to bits. 75. So, it'd be 75 proof or 80 proof. Sorry. No, that's not right. Yeah, of course it is. So, we get 2 variants in the UK. We get 37.5%, 75 proof. Why I couldn't double that up, I'll never know. Or we get the 40% and the 80 proof. Interestingly enough, the 40 on Master of Malt is literally 50p cheaper. Don't ask me why, but it's the one that sells out. And for some reason, I've got the 37.5%. I don't know why, it was just the one I kind of added right at the start of the rum journey. But just to give you clarity on that, Amazon, I've looked at Amazon price as well, so do the comparison. This is logged out Master of Malt. It's £21. So let's just do the 40% because we can compare that. The 40% on Master of Malt is £21.50. However, on Amazon it's £21. That is the kind of exception to the rule because Amazon is normally generally cheaper for Flor de Cana. They always have offers, always. If you're in the membership area of the Discord, Scott is always on it. Flor de Cana, every single week, you'll get the 12-year-old for something stupid like £23, £24. Stupid money for, I've said it again in the 12-year-old, for the 12, you know, it's just stupid money they do. It's kind of like a lost leader syndrome. Anyway, now that we've kind of rolled onto that, I'll just quickly put this up on screen again so we can get the old comments, get the old chapters right. So Flor de Cana, number 4. I know I'm just going to call this a 4-year-old. I know I am, but right, there we go. So let's just we're going to guide this through. So for all of you that want the, have got the Rum X, if all of you that have got this at home and want to do a little tasting, be my guest. You can kind of join along with us. And I'm going to try this as a daiquiri. I'm going to try this. I've got the Cokes and the Gingers and all that. I'll get them out in a minute in the fridge. We'll kind of do sort of a little taste along. So, the Flor de Cana. Now, interestingly, I don't know whether there's the other one here. Interestingly, this is on Rumex. This has only been reviewed twice. This, and I don't know why, considering, where's the 12? There it is. The 12's, the 18's been reviewed 62 times, to be fair, and the 12 has been reviewed, where is it, 72 times. But the 4 just hasn't got the love on Rumex for some reason. Right, nostril test is a big sort of coffee, sort of chocolate on there. Not so much as Eldorado. I get off the Eldorado 3-year-old, it was there, wasn't it? Off the Eldorado 3-year-old, I get even more sort of coffee and chocolate. But off this chocolate, coffee, vanilla, it's like, it's very much coffee beans. Very, very much. You open a bag of coffee beans, espresso beans, and that's kind of the smell you get off there. But it is loads of vanilla on there as well. Right, I'm just trying to open this up so I can taste it. Right, let's click the magical taste it button. And obviously the colour. Now Oliver, hello Oliver, has now changed it from gin clear to clear. Thank you, Oliver. So we can do that. So we have got clear. Right, nostrils. So yeah, so you know, there's not. I'm looking at other people's notes here. There's nothing to really go on. We've got sugar cane, floral, vanilla, and fruity. That's what the other sort of 2 reviewers have done. But I genuinely get loads of sort of espresso beans on there. And if anyone is tasting at home, as I say, let me know what you kind of taste. Go on there. Sure, I can see why. And no, that's all right. They're talking amongst there. Right. So, do I get much fruit? I don't get much fruit off this. It's just those sort of coffee, chocolate, vanilla vibes. That's what I really get off that. I wouldn't go so far as to say vanilla latte, but I definitely pick out coffee beans and I definitely pick out vanilla sort of separately. But I wouldn't put those two together. I wouldn't go, oh yeah, it smells like a vanilla latte, if you know what I mean. And I don't think I can really pick off too much else on that. I don't really agree with the floral on that. But it smells, does it smell sweet? It smells like it's, bearing in mind there's 0 sugar added to this from Flor de Cana. They say 0 sugar, so I'm not going to argue with them. But yeah, so sweetness, it smells like it could potentially be, I don't know, you know, I've drunk this plenty of times, so I know it's going to go down really, really easily. But sweetness, I would give it a 2 out of 5. That's what it kind of smells like. It smells like it's got a little bit of something to it that just makes it an easy one to go down. Right, fruitness. I don't really pick up too much fruit off that at all. I'll give it a 1 out of 5 because there's probably something there, but I couldn't be specific of what it was. I wouldn't go tropical fruit. And also, this is the other thing. This bottle's been open now for a good 6 to 8 months. So again, it'd be interesting to sort of look back at my tasting notes when I first kind of did this pre-Christmas. See what they're, see whether that does make any difference. I don't know. Right, so floral. No, I'm not going anything for floral. Spices, because of the vanilla, it kind of has to go in there. It's not a peppery spice, but it is kind of vanilla spice. You would add that. So I'm going 2 out of 5. Woody, maybe 1 out of 5. Again, it's not like there's absolutely nothing there, but it's definitely not wood forward at all. So 1 out of 5. Roasted, I'm going 0. And round, I'll go 2 out of 5. It smells like kind of a nice round of rum. I think Anne's doing the taste along as well. Vanilla for sure, just a tad vanilla, not sweetness. Yeah, agree with that. 24 US dollars. What's 24? That's stupid money. That's like 16, 17 quid. You US people, crazy. Right, let's get on to the old tasting. Really not sweet. Really isn't sweet. And that's the first bit of rum I've had today. So I'll just let that burn the palate for a second. Kind of let that sort of digest. And the initial sort of taste I get off that, because it is the first rum, the first bit of alcohol I've had, it's quite bitter. Kind of chocolatey, bitter chocolate. And the coffee notes off the back there. But I know that will soften up in a sec once my palate is kind of acclimatised to it. Right. Right, so tons of vanilla on there now. The vanilla is there. Now that my palate, my tongue's got used to it, it's very dry. It's a little bit of tannins. There's a little bit of tannin on the side of the tongues, on the back of the throat. There's a little bit of sort of, I'm going to say peppery spice to it, but it's not in your face at all. It's just a lovely sort of warming spice. Easily, that is a very nice white rum, as much as we hate calling them white rums. A lightly aged rum. It's a very nice one to sip neat. Really inoffensive. Big vanilla notes coming off that now. I do actually get those sort of woody, oaky vibes off it, where it has obviously rested in, or some of the rums in there have obviously rested for quite a long time, or aged, whatever you want to call it. But it is that dryness, because there is zero sugar added to that. It is that dryness, which makes it a very, very different beast to, it's this side now, isn't it? Very different beast to the, oh, you can't see it up there, the Plantation 3 Stars. I really struggle to split these sometimes because they are like chalk and cheese. And this is what I'm fascinated with the white rum journey, because there's so many different profiles in white rum. Really kind of blew me away. And getting maybe slight chocolate. That was the first, I really got bitter chocolate off the first mouthful, but it kind of really does fade. It is vanilla up front, dry vanilla up front. Not getting much fruit off that. Not much floralness coming off that either. Maybe sort of light cinnamon. It's kind of sort of like some sort of spice off it, but nothing. It's vanilla. It's vanilla with a subtle hint of bitter kind of chocolate and coffee off the back of it. Right, let's get on and do that. So, and this is what it's only obviously one person that's done this, even though there's been 2 reviews. Tropical fruit, custard, and flowery. And I want to taste the 40. I would love to taste the 40 side by side. I still haven't done that because that extra 3.5%, 2.5%, sorry. My maths is shocking tonight. I'm pretty good at maths normally. That extra sort of 2.5% or 5 proof might make a bit of a difference on there. It might do. It might be that the 40, the 80 proof, does give you more tropical fruit. I can't, because I've never done them side by side, I can't testify to that. That's the 37. So for me, I'm going to add in Fuzz Buzz. I can see that. I'll come back to that in a second. I'm going to add woody, because there is a subtle bit of woody in there. I'm going to add sweetness. I think I would generally give this a 0. I don't think there's any sweetness to that at all. And I'm contemplating giving fruit a 0 as well. And floral a 0. I can't give them all 0s. That's just bonkers. Sweetness I'm going to give a 0. Fruit I'll give 1, because I dare say there is something there. I would love to taste it. I would love to do a side by side of the 40. That could be a project. Right, floral, I'm going to keep it 0. Spices, however, I'm going to go up to 2. Woody, I'm going to go up to 2. Roasted, there's no real roasted notes to that. And rounded, I'm going to go to 2 as well. I'm quite happy with that. The spices do refer, there's maybe a touch of sort of cinnamon, but it is predominantly vanilla I'm kind of talking about on there. Right, finish for me is, it's not short. I'm going medium on there. It's got a creamy. That's a nice word. That's on the tasting things. I can add creaminess to it. Taste, right, creamy. There we go. I forgot to add to that, didn't I? Have we got bitter chocolate? I don't want to put chocolate. No, bitter orange. All right, I'll have to put dark chocolate. Let's go dark chocolate. That's what I mean. Dark chocolate and coffee. Boom, right, done. Added those. That's that. Finish medium. I've had to add my comment very quickly, which I've forgotten what it was now. I know what it was. Rum X. There we go. Right, done. Right, now, scores. I have to give this a score out of 100. I'll do that in a minute. Oh, hang on, what's Anne saying? I think pepper over cinnamon. Yeah, sweetness 1, fruit 0, floral 1-ish. Jeff McJeff, late to the party, will clack out my Cana. Jeff, it's not a 12-year-old. Jeff, you'll have to go back and watch the sort of like from minute 10 to minute, I don't know, 30. Skip the first 10 minutes and then watch the next sort of 20 minutes. That you'll have a bit of an insight there, Jeff McJeff. Right, I'm going to score this out of 100. It's very good for me. I think it's a very good white rum. I really do. So 80 to 89 is very good and 90 is excellent. I wouldn't quite put it in the excellent, and I definitely think it's better than good. But I'm going to go for like an 82. I'm going to go for an 82 out of 100 because I know full well I've got white rums that I enjoy more. And I know some of them I wouldn't even rate as excellent either. So I think this has to be the low end of very good. It's definitely better than good, but the low end of very good for me. So I'm going to lock that in and press save, and that's done. Right, to answer your question, Fuzzbuzz, yes, I'm going to do exactly that. Fuzzbuzz says, are you going to compare the Flor de Cana rums as rum fashion, daiquiris, etc. to see which is your favourite? Yes, that is exactly what I'm doing. I've got the lime juice here, I've got the sugar. This is one thing that I forgot to mention, which I was going to mention right when I was talking about age statements and all that. The thing that kind of eluded me to this months and months and months ago was actually the way they market the 12 as a cocktail rum. They do market it as a, well actually to be fair, they market the 18 as a sipping rum. They kind of market this as the rum fashioned, rum and ginger, rum and coke. You know, so you're kind of thinking, hang on a minute, back then, why do Flor de Cana, why are they sort of marketing a 12-year-old rum as a rum and coke? Why would you market the rum and the 7 or the 5 as your rum and coke? That's the one, they kind of one they go to. Hence why I do think they've stopped with the 5, purely because that's so cheap and that is pretty decent. Why would you bother with a 5 and a 7, essentially? And I don't really think the 5 fits in the UK market either at the price. I generally think they could go from the 4 to the 12 and the 18. I think they could do away with the 7. But that's a different story. So yes, that's exactly what we're going to do, Fuzzbuzz. I'm going to do, I need to get my cokes and my gingers and all that out to the party. But the first thing we're going to do is the daiquiri, because we do love a daiquiri. I've even got my lids off my, my sugar ready to go. So sugar, lime. I'm gonna do 5-2-1 for these. 5-2-1. Not a 6-2-1. 5-2-1. There we go. Nice. Boom. Right. Happy days. Dax. Dak. Right. So that's that. Bit of ice cubes. And any other comments and questions? So is anyone else tasting any of the Flor de Cana at home? I know there's quite a few of you who've got the 12, so that won't be too long because the 7 won't take that long either. So I'm guessing we can have kind of a big sort of taste along with the 12. Right, stay there. Let's do the old daiquiris. Lovely jubbly. Boom, boom, boom. Right, that can just sit there to one side. That's there. I've got all my little bits and bobs here ready to go. Right, a ginger, cokes. Look at ready. He's got them all ready. He says, I've lost. That's my little bit of rum punch as well. I don't need to do a rum punch for the white. I'm not going to bother with that. But I will do a bit of rum and coke. And a little bit of rum and ginger. There we go. Right, so the old daiquiri. This is good. I've drunk this so many times. I know, flipping hell. I know this works. That is a stunning daiquiri. Probably, and I haven't done this head to head yet properly. I did it months and months and months ago, and I'm still going on that. But this would be number 3 in my all-star daiquiris. It would go This is why I need to kind of update this, because I need to add the Montagna Platino, because I've got a funny feeling that's going to romp that as well. But Ron Cube is my number 1, Plantation is my number 2, and Flor de Cana is my number 3. Drink that all night long. That is a stunning, stunning daiquiri. Absolutely love that. Right, I'm just going to do little ones, actually. Little tiddlers. There we go. A little bit of rum and coke. Oh, hang on. Oh, no, there it is. Sorry, I thought it was different comments on the iPad to what there is on the screen up there. Right, little bit of rum and coke. I really like that as a rum and coke. That's, the rum shines through. It's let's just call it a Cooper Libre. Sod it. It's a rum and coke. It's a really good rum and coke. Cheers, Jeff. It does look kind of cool. Let me kind of duck down so you can see it a little bit there. Jeff, the spiced rums are all up the top. So I've got an extra 2 shelves up the top now that you can't kind of see off camera, but the spiced rums are all up there. Got a Jamaican shelf that's kind of capped with Windy's Dos Madeiros down there. Yeah, it's plenty of, and all the plantations go from there to there. Yeah, it's kind of more organised and easy going now. Right, I like that. The Flor de Cana definitely is a rum and coke. If you're a Bacardi and Coke fan, that is a huge step up. It's really, really decent. Ginger. Cool, the gas is really going to get me on this, isn't it? Right, that'll do. Rum and ginger. That's all right. It's not brilliant. It's all right. I definitely prefer... I'm going to keep these lined up so I kind of know... so I can kind of do the comparison, if you know what I mean. So I'm just going to kind of line them up a little bit there. I'm not going to bother with the ginger beer on that one. I wouldn't, personally, I wouldn't drink it. So there's no point me even scoring it as a white rum and ginger beer. I want a darker, more molasses, more caramel-based rum for a ginger beer. So I'm not even going to get that out to the party for that one. The spiced orange ginger ale. Let's keep Kevin happy if Kevin's here. There we go. Always pour a bit too heavy. Right, so spiced orange ginger ale. There we go. Delicious. Love that. Ginger ale is just lighter. It's just, and that's kind of what you want with a lighter style of rum. The ginger beer would be, for me, too feisty for that. I want a more robust rum to stand up to the ginger beer, essentially. So whereas ginger ale is kind of lighter, more refreshing, it just works better with lighter styles of rum. Exactly. So that's the Coke, that's the ginger ale. Hang on. Sorry if it looks a bit funny on camera. Nah, I'll be right. So you can see that. And there was one more at the punch. That's what I've got to do here. I have to measure the punch because the punch is all done to specific ratios. Right, that's that. So 1 part sour, 2 parts sweet, 3 parts strong, 4 parts weak, and a dash of spice to make it nice. Lime, honey, strawberry, rum, passion fruit juice, and Angostura bitters. Just a fun, fruity punch. So I'll do the half of what I normally do. There we go. So there we go. Right, so it's a little tiddler to what I normally do. So it's all perfectly ratioed up. So rum punch. Delicious. It's the thing with, when I say this in the tasting video, so the rum punches, you know, every single rum I use in it is going to be nice, but certain rums bring something extra to the party with that. They kind of stand out a little bit. We'll see how that one goes compared to the 7 and the 12. At the moment, that's just really nice. Quite happily drink that all day long. But the 12 might bring more character to it. That's all we're saying. Right. Oh, I love that. I love that rum punch. That's proper tasty. Right. So, Dregs bottle. Yeah. Why not? Why not? Bit of dregs bottle. It's a little bit going in there. I could down it, but it's more fun adding the dregs bottle in it. And I've been looking at a 3 litre barrel as well that I might get on the bar. I did see a 1 litre barrel and I thought I'm going to fill that pretty damn quickly. So I might get a 3 litre barrel for the bar. So that's my little dregs bottle down there. Right. So any other Matt Chase? What's Matt saying? Off subject is paying £80 for a first 4 square. Worth it. I think Windy. No. Right. So I don't know whether anyone's else. Lee's put it. If you can afford it, why not pay 80? Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's I'm not personally ready for the ECS yet. They're probably a bit beyond me. I just wouldn't appreciate them. Yes, I would say that's a nice rum. I just wouldn't appreciate it at this point. So me personally, I'm not going to buy any of the ECS series until I'm ready for them. The plantations are a little bit different. But even then, I've only really bought that one, which you can't see because it's behind there. I've only really bought that one because my membership community, we're having a taste along with it next week. But for me personally, no. That's why I kind of aim this channel at £50 and under, because even I'm not ready to make that step up yet. If you are, brilliant, go for it. But a lot of us aren't. A lot of us are just happy exploring the sort of younger, cheaper rums, if you like. Right, bit of water. Right, that's why if I buzz clear, that's why it's hidden just out of camera view. I don't know what that was referring to. I've obviously said something. I can't work out what it does. Right. So, hang on. That's what I'm. If I'm missing comments here, what's going on? I can see I can see parts of conversations, but I can't see the. I can't see where it's coming from. Don't know. Right. Anyway. So let's put this one on screen now. This 7. Finish my water. So this 7, and as I said at the top, this is not a 7-year-old rum at all. This is an average of 7-year-old rums in here. So pour a little bit in the glass. I don't think I've really done a neat tasting with this. I must have done. I can't remember filming a video with it. I must have done. I definitely haven't. The reason why I'm doing this is I definitely haven't scored them on the RumX app. Right, so let's go. Oh, I didn't. Hang on. Sorry. Let me go back to what I didn't do on the 4. Was this? So there's now 4 ratings. Oh, okay. There's now 4 ratings on the 4, Flor de Cana 4. I'm the only one that's given it above 60 to 70. So there's 3 of them in the 60 to 69, and then there's me in the 80s. All right, so yeah, as I say, I don't know who's reviewed it, but right, let's find the 7. There it is. So we've got 24 ratings this time. So let's have. Just for those there, and say I'm not doing the 5. I haven't got the 5. I've never bothered with the 5 because I know it's a discontinued rum. As I say, for those of you just joining, I know some of you have got it. I know some of you can buy it quite easily, but it is a discontinued rum. Okay, it has been since 2018, I do believe. All right, so. Let's go on to this. So let's click the magical taste it buttons. Prices for this, £22. It is actually the same price on Amazon, and Master of Malt logged out is the same price, and it is pretty much the same price as the 4. Okay, which kind of gives you the answer of why the 5's not a thing anymore, because where do you price point the 5? If the 7 is just the same price, or maybe £1 more in some situations, what is the point of a 5? That's why the 5 is a delisted rum, discontinued rum. Right, so click the magical taste it button. Colour, select colour. Right, colour. For those of you who haven't seen this before, RumX, you can kind of, and if I get it kind of gives you the colour chart there. If you can sort of see that, that's it. So scrolling through. Right, so I think this is tawny. This is as close to Auburn. Might be Auburn. Tawny or Auburn. I reckon. I'm going tawny. But it could be Auburn. Some people might put that as Auburn. Some people might put it as tawny. Right. So, what do we get on the old nostrils for this? Whoo! Definitely more vanilla. I'm getting more. I'm going to burp again. I'm sorry. The gas has already got me. Here we go. I didn't have much Coke or ginger beer at all for the gases there. Right. Definitely more vanilla. If anyone's got the 7, again, have a little taste along. Let me know in the comments. I wouldn't have thought many of you have got the 7, to be honest. Question. Hey, Windy, I don't know whether you're joking or whether you meant that in banter, but quite possibly. Quite possibly. So for those of you that don't realise, obviously, you know, when you get 4-year-old rums, as I say, I know this is probably not a 4-year-old rum, but when you get 4s, even like a Havana 3-year-old, my bottle's empty, but when they've got colour in there, they have obviously been aged in wood, so they are going to pick up barrel. They are going to pick up a certain amount of colouring like that. So to get them white, they are filtered. Sometimes chill filtered, sometimes charcoal filtered, whatever. But they are filtered to remove the colour. So Windy's, flippantly, probably knowing him, kind of asked, is the 4 just that? But with the colour stripped, quite possibly could be very similar blend of rums. Quite possibly. We don't know. Generally don't know. But they could quite possibly. Maybe this is how it could work. I'm not saying this is how it is, but this is how it could work. To make that an average of 4-year-old, they might have like a 7 or an 8 in there, and a 1 or a 2-year-old in there. But to make that, if there is just that, to make that a 7, they might just add a 12 in there, which would then just going to take the average age up. So that literally might just be that with a touch of 12 in there. You don't know the ratios. You generally don't. So, definitely vanilla on the nose. Should I get the añejo out? What's the añejo? And we don't have an añejo Flor de Cana. I don't know. Generally don't know what the añejo is for that, or what you're referring to. Right. Vanilla. I'm getting a slight nuttiness to it. I'm getting a bit of, there's something I can't really pick that up. I think there's a little bit of dried fruit on that. Interestingly, I don't get the chocolate or coffee at all on that. I get vanilla and I get a touch of wood, and I get some sort of dried fruits on that. Añejo Oro 4. I have, again, and I've absolutely got no idea what that is. In the UK market, and the rums they release, and European market, and the rest of the world market, as far as I'm aware, they do the 4, they do the 7, they do the 12, they do the 18, they do a 25, and then there's a special edition as well. So I have no idea what the Añejo Oro 4 is. No idea. Right, there's something else on that, and I can't quite pick. So I'm going vanilla. I'm going slightly wood. There's a slight nuttiness to it, but I don't know what that is. I'm not picking up almond. Yeah, I can't really pick the nutty what it is. Steve-O's got mild orange. Yeah. I personally wouldn't get that. Right, let's add that in. So I'm going dried fruit. I can't be specific, so I'm just going dried fruit on that. It might be kind of like, so when I'm thinking of dried fruit, I'm thinking of like the bag of, like when you get like mixed peels in the dried fruit as well. So you get sultanas, raisins, dried sort of orange. That's the kind of aroma. So yeah, I get probably what you mean by the orange of that. I kind of round it in there. There's a Flor de Cana Classico 5-year, 2 Black Label, Añejo. Oh, no idea. They must be kind of the US Canadian market then, because they're 100% not UK market, 100% not UK. And as far as I'm aware, never have been. I know the 5 was that went up in the range, but as far as I'm aware, there's been no other Flor de Canas in the UK. 100% on that. And I'm going. Flor de Cana has always been one of the biggest ranges that we could get in the UK, as from wholesalers as a business. So yeah, so my knowledge of Flor de Cana goes back to, I don't know, early 2000s, 2003, 2004, and it's never been a thing. Never been a thing then. So right, vanilla. I don't know whether I can just put nuts. But it has to be specific. Nutty. I'm going to put nutty. I can't pick what it is. It's not almond. Might be leaning towards like, or maybe, interesting. Right, here we go. Interesting. Maybe Nutella. I may be getting sort of like chocolate hazelnut. That's actually what it might be. Nutella vibes. Oh, that's interesting. Right, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do chocolate. And I'm going to do, because Nutella's not a thing in here, but I'm also going to do, what's that, hazelnut, and do that. Right, I think I'm there, good to that. Vanilla, woody, dried fruit, nutty, chocolate. Oh, let's get rid of nutty. I've got hazelnut, there we go. Right, other people, let's click what other people have put. Other people have put vanilla, woody, alcoholic, hazelnut, dried dates, fruity, geranium. No. Spicy, oak, bourbon, grass, juniper. Someone's having a laugh with that. Someone's used a glass of gin and topped it up with rum. Juniper, no. No. So, right. So, let's just do that. Right, sweetness. It's not a thing, but just to give you a gauge, I would smell that. Again, I would go 2. I think it would have some form of sweetness to it from the nose. That's not a score I can give. That's just my personal thing. Right, fruitiness. Yes, that smells infinitely fruitier than the 4. So I've given it a 2. It's not massively fruit forward, but I'm giving it a 2. Floral, 1 at a push. It's where I'd like to give it a half if I could, or if it was out of 10, I'd give it 1 out of 10, but they're out of 5, so I can't. I love the fact people are joining in on live tasting. Yeah, I'm really excited for next week. Really excited for the plantation one next week. That'll be the first one where we do kind of a big lot of us together. Right, spices. Vanilla again, because that's a spice that I've got big vanilla notes, so I'm going to go 3 off that. Woody, again, there's a touch of wood there. Special edition Flor de Cana did for their anniversary is awesome. Yes, that's the so they did that on the release of their 130 years, and I think they've got, yeah, the newer ones I've got 130 around the neck, so they did a special release for the 130th year on there. Right, woody, roasted, maybe 1, and rounded 2 again. So just to go through, fruit 2 out of 5, floral 1 out of 5, spices 3 out of 5, woody 2 out of 5, roasted 1 out of 5, and rounded 2 out of 5. For those of you that ever want to see my scores, if you've got the axe, you can just go in and search. I think you can kind of search for me somehow. But if not, you just go onto the feed and just scroll back, because I do review rums quite a lot frequently out there. You'll see me on top of the feed, the essential, the home feed on there. I'm not one of the big ones. There's people that are literally doing like 10 rums a day on here. But yeah, right, let's get on to the old tasting. So, wow, right. Very light. So I said creamy off that. For me, the 7 is a lot lighter. Instantly tell you that's column still rum. A Spanish style of column still rum. Again, for me, and it's hard, I can't really sort of describe it to you, but, and this is kind of what I mean when I say this, for some reason, and I don't know why, I can pick out, or I think for me personally, I can tell a difference between an English style, so like a Barbados column still rum, and a Spanish style of column still rum. I have absolutely no idea of what the difference is between those column stills. I had no idea. I couldn't tell you. I don't know what the process is. I don't know how it differs. But for some reason, Cuban, Puerto Rican, Nicaraguan, all like, you know, all those kind of Spanish style, Spanish countries, for me, I think produce a different column still rum to, for instance, your Barbados, to your Trinidad's. I mean, Jamaica is half pot still as well, but a lot of them have got, like Ray and Nephew, Appleton have got column still rums in there as well. It's just, I can't describe it, I really can't, but that it's just a lighter column still rum. But that is delicious. Right, instantly I got a kind of chocolate coffee off that. I get, actually, it's not chocolate coffee. That for me is Nutella. It's an unsweetened Nutella. That's the big top note of that, with a vanilla note to it. It's a little faint hint of wood. Oak barreling. I can't be any more specific than that. Bourbon barrel aged. I can't tell you what type of wood or anything like that. Just sort of bourbon barrel aged. It's not sherry finished. It's not Madeira finished or anything like that. It's very kind of obviously plain oaky bourbon, ex-bourbon barrel finish on that. It's a little sort of, it's nowhere near as dry as the white. The tannins aren't really attacking my gums or the tongue on there, but there is a little subtle hint of peppery spice to it. Delicious. Right, Steve-O, what's got this? Light, delicate, short and medium finish, maybe too light. Yeah, see, I've got, for me, right, drinking this, and I get what you... Oh, hang on, I've missed a comment by Anne. It does have decent sugary legs down the side. Right, definitely get the barrel. Right, Steve, right, for me, this is the difference, and I can only put it down for me. Drinking this, and I'm talking to Havana Steve here, over in Ireland, Northern Ireland, sorry. For me, this is a kind of a perfect style for a daiquiri rum. It's not a heavy. I like those lighter sort of styles of rum, and I think that's why I kind of prefer those sort of Cuban, Puerto Rican rums in a daiquiri, and why I don't do like Appleton 8-year-old in a daiquiri, because they're just a bit too heavy for me. I think that's what it is. Right, so vanilla, Nutella, chocolate, hazelnut, unsweetened Nutella. Not getting much fruit off that. I don't really think I could give you the peppery spices there. I don't really think I can give you anything else on there. Steve, you're the 7th highest reviewer in RumX. No, I'm not. Trust me. I might be today, but I'm definitely not. Well, I don't think I am. Oh, maybe for the month. It depends which feed you're looking at. If it's for the month, I may be, because I've already done a few for the month. But yeah, I'm not a chance. There's one guy, I forget his name. There's one guy that's literally on here like 24/7. And Oliver's kind of high. The guy that owns the app's kind of high. Right, so let me punch these in. So vanilla, woody, hazelnuts, chocolate I need to kind of add in. I'll just go through what other people have got. Vanilla, alcoholic, diluted, too thin. I'm guessing that's what that refers to. Woody, cherry wood. Malt is an interesting one. Hazelnuts there, sorry, I've skipped past that. Malt, roasted, licorice. Dried fruit, fruity, sweet and sharpness. Yeah, there's quite a few people reviewed this, so top reviewer in the app. No, I'm not. I'll have a look. I'll soon tell you. No, I can't be. 100% I can't be. Not a chance. I don't know what that's referring to, but I'm not. I know for a fact I'm not the person that has done the most reviews. So I don't know what. Neil, I don't know what that top reviewer means, but I'm sure as hell and nowhere near even being remotely close to the person that's done the most reviews. Right, Joe Wick's barrel and vanilla. Yeah, I can't pick out any fruitiness off that at all. So I just need to add in chocolate, because I do get Nutella. So chocolate. Right, here we go. So sweetness, I'm going to go, bearing in mind the white, the 4, I gave 0. I'm going to give this a 2. It's actually, because it is lighter, it's actually a little bit sweeter for me. Fruit, I don't think there's much fruit on it. I really don't. Floral, 1, because of that lightness. Steve is 22 in Rumex. I've got to have a look for this. Best dressed in the app. Oh, brilliant. Right, spices, because of the vanilla again, I've got to give that a 3. Woody, 2. Roasted, 2. And rounded, I'm going to go 2. So sweetness 2, fruit 0, floral 1. Spices, I went 2 in the end. Vanilla, woody 2, roasted 2, round 2. Finish, I can still taste it, but I probably agree with Steve. I think that's a little bit of a short finish, actually. It's not rum that I get on the finish. Like the rum's gone. I just get this faint sort of Nutella vibes on the finish. So yeah, I probably agree with the short there, actually. That's the one. Right, done. Right, now I've got to score this out of 100. Smokiness on the finish. See, I struggle to pick up the smokiness sort of stuff. I don't really get that. Right, so I'm going to score this now. Do I think it's as good as the white? I don't, because I can't place it. I can't place its use. The white I would have as like a daiquiri rum. It's right, okay, for me, drinking it neat, yes, I prefer drinking the 7 neat more than I do the 4. But I know full well that when it comes to the 12, I'm going to enjoy that even more. So 12 would be my go-to to sip neat. So therefore, why do I have the 7 and the 4? I'm not going to judge these scores on cocktails because I haven't really done that so far. You know, that has to be separate. So this is just sipping neat. I'm going to give this a high good. And purely because it's the year I was born and it's the one it's set on 77. I was actually going to go 78, but it's sat on 77. I think I'm going to agree with that. It's a good rum. I think I'm kind of happy with that. Yes, it's by month. 7th with 22 reviews for the month. Okay, yeah, I got it. 70 from me. 70 from Steve. Okay. HomePod, yeah, I never used the 7. 77, right. I'm going to like, for me, I do kind of like that, but I'm not being unfair because I know what's coming with the 12. I think that's what if I was being, no, I'm going to lock it in at 77. I think that's fine. I'm going to lock it in. 70 safe. Right, now just to give you this, 26 ratings on this now, on rum, and I can give you the lowdown of this. Right, so, this is interesting, actually. A huge spread. One person is giving it in the 20s. Now, that's an absolute muppet. Probably either a massive spiced rum fan or a massive Foursquare ECS fan, that sort of vibes, because there is no way that deserves to be in the 20s. Again, in the 30s. There's no way that deserves to be in the 30s. And there's 3 people who have put it in the 40s. Again, there is no way that deserves to be in the 40s. The big ones are 50s and 60s. They are the big 2 categories. One person has put it in the 90s, and me, and whether that was Steve as well. I don't know whether Steve's reviewed it on Rumex. I don't know, but it's 4 of us in the 70s. So the big ones are the 50s and the 60s, which is pleasant and good. Yeah. Right. Okay. Just made a 4. Hello, William. Just made a 4 daiquiri, and it's lovely. Bacardi Silver lovers. Yeah, probably. Right. Let's just do the old DAC attack very, very quickly. Let's do daiquiri for that. Yeah, it's about right. I thought I'd get on to. I was hoping to hit the 12-year-old by 9:30 at the very latest. So I think I'm about on about on schedule. Right, let's just do that. Let's just do that. I can use that again. That's fine. So that could be the slops. Right, so I'm going to do that same again. I'm going to do a 5-2-1. I'll be easy doing this one. That's that. Oh no, I need one more, don't I? One more for a 5-2-1. There we go. So, and I need to do the old Coke. Hang on, let's just pour a good glug in there, and then that's easier to pour. Right. So what have I got? I've got that's. What didn't do rum. I'll do the rum fashioned with the 12. I didn't bother with the white. So that's that. That's that. That can be my Coke, and then I need to measure out the punch, don't I? I need to measure out the punch. So the punch, what's that? It's this one. That's that, and that's the old punchy. Oh, ginger beer. I might need to do a ginger beer with this one. I'll tell you what, I won't. I'll stick ginger ale. I'll stick with ginger ale for this. Yeah, right, that's the punch. I did the bigger punch this time. Because I do like the punch. Right, let's just try the punch. See, there is slightly more character. It's close, but there is slightly more character that comes out in that rum, in the rum punch. But for a light, easy drinking cocktail, I do prefer the white rum in that punch. Right, Coke. Little splash, rum and Coke. It's a decent rum and Coke. I think I prefer. Oh, that's interesting. The white rum, it's a lot dry. It's not as sweet. It's nowhere near as sweet. Even though there's no sweetness in the 7, the white is nowhere near as sweet. It's completely different. Actually, I'm going to reverse that. I'm preferring the 7 in the rum and Coke. Right, ginger. Oh yeah, I just see that Nutella rum. I'm going to send a bottle flying here. I'm sure he knows what we're talking about. That is the ultimate Nutella rum. Belgrove hazelnut. The ultimate Nutella rum, that is. Right. Oh, see, I knew that was going flying. Windy, it's all your fault. Right. Oh, we've salvaged it. That's all right. We've salvaged. Right. The ginger. Plain old ginger ale. I think I'm going white rum. Hands down. Hands down, all day long. The spiced orange ginger ale. Let's put the Coke back there. Spiced orange. That's pretty decent, actually, to be fair. Prefer the white rum. Prefer the 4 than ginger ale. So, kind of split. I prefer the Coke. Hang on, what did I do? I used that one, didn't I? So, what did I do? Did 5-2-1. So, that's that. So, I prefer the 7 as a Coke. And what did I say? No, the 4 on both the gingers. So it's down to, and the 4 on the punch. So it's down to the daiquiri now. Dak attack, right. Right, bit of dak attack. So 5-2-1 daiquiri, exactly the same as the white. bit of ice for the bar, and a bit of daiquiri for the bar as well to keep it lubricated. Right, and put that on the floor. So, no, it's not. It doesn't even hold a candle up to that. God, no. Absolutely no. No, no, no. It's not bad. It's just when you've got the white rum, the 4. Both the same, 521. The 4 is so much better. No. So, based on that, would I buy the 7? No. Would I top that up? No. The one that I did enjoy was the Coke, but the 4 with Coke is not terrible. It's just I slightly preferred the 7 with Coke. That's all. The 4 for the same price is a really good rum and Coke. I just slightly prefer the 7. That's all. But for everything else, the daiquiri, the gingers, and the punch, I do actually prefer the 4. And bearing in mind they're the same price. Interesting. So yeah, others, whoever else was tasting it, I think Joe was tasting it as well. So Anne and Steve. Who else was tasting it? Joe, Anne and Steve. Let me know, would you restock it? If you've got the 4 and the 4 versus that, which would you restock the 7, bearing in mind you've got the 4? That's kind of what I'm interested in. So Anne's on it. I agree, skip the 7 and spend your money on something else that you actually want. The 12 works very well. Right, so let's move on. I wanted to hit this by 9:30 and I thought I'd be bang on the money. So the 12. Flor de Cana 12. Right, and I just thought I've got to top my slops bottle up again, haven't I? Got to keep feeding the old slops bottle. There we go. God, this is, my member's got a little sneak peek of what this tastes like at the moment. Oh, it's good. It's good. Right. So, a bit of water in my glass to kind of refresh that and refill it. Get rid of all that, bit of water. Right, what else? I don't think I would restock, only works at neat for me. Yes, neat, yeah, sorry, yeah, it's quite decent to drink neat, to be fair, but I know what's coming with that, that's the problem. Right. So, the 12. As I said at the top, not a 12-year-old rum. As you know, I come back to this. I'm pretty, for those of you just sort of tuning in, I'm pretty damn confident. I'm 99.9% sure that my facts are right with this, because they do not put years old or annos or whatever other word you could use to signify how old this rum is. They just put the number 12. The Centenario refers to the range. It's in their Centenario range. But it does not say, it just says aged naturally. It says 12, aged naturally. It does not say 12 years old or 12 annos, like the, can you see that on there? Like the Havana does, you know, they've got annos in there, and Añejo annos. Bacardi very clearly says aged 8 years in there, aged 4 years. Ron Santiago, 8 annos. You know, they are very, very specific. When it's El Dorado's, aged 3 years, aged 5 years, aged 10 years, aged 7 years. They're very, very specific. Appleton says aged a minimum of 8 years. They're very, very specific when they're talking about years, how old it is. And Flor de Cana aren't. There's no mention anywhere on any website that they are officially connected to about the age statements, just purely 12. So that's why it's cheap. Now, it's, you know, we are, you know, there will be, as I say, if it's an average, if that is correct, if it's an average of 12, which does mean to say that if say the minimum, to get an average score, if the minimum is a 5-year-old in there, that does mean to say there is going to be 18, possibly 20-year-old rums in there to give it an average of 12. So it's not that that's a bad thing, because we have got some really good rums or some older rums in there to give it an average of 12. But there are some younger rums in there. That's the difference. That is the big difference. Right. But I do like this rum. I do like this rum. Right, so let's go back to Flor de Cana and let's go back to 12. Now, see, even Oliver on his app, young Oliver, if you're watching this back, I don't know how old you are, Oliver, but even this is listed as Flor de Cana 12 Anos. And as I say, there's no, you know, it's not, the Anos does not even come anywhere close to being on the bottle. No, there's absolutely no reference at all to the age statement on the bottle. So I'm pretty sure I'm right. Right, anyway, this rum has been reviewed 72 times now, so we're getting up there. This is quite a popular rum in the grand scheme of things. So we're going to get onto that. So taste it, Rum X. So let's give the colour. What colour are we going for in this? I reckon this is slightly darker. I'm going mahogany. Burnt umber. It's too light to be burnt umber, but it's too dark to be auburn. So I'm going mahogany. Well, can you see that for those of you just joining? You know, it's kind of sort of sits there, sort of sits down the bottom there. So yeah, I'm going mahogany on that. Right. So windy bum. Yeah, Jeff. Oh, question. Alho. Sorry, that's just popped up. Says 12 years old on yours. Does it? Really? Definitely doesn't say 12 years old on mine. I don't know how old your bottle is, Steve-O. Shove that in the Discord. Take a photo of it and whack it in the Discord. I'll look at Discord later. Because if it's since 2018, it definitely shouldn't do. So yeah, it says 12 years old on mine. Interesting. I want to see photos of these bottles because I can easily pick the labels of how old the actual bottle is from the label on there. Right, just did a quick search on my supplier's website. They've got Flor de Cana Blanco 7 years. I guess it's Blanco Reserve for 7 years. Christ. Oh, you're in Belgium, aren't you? Absolutely no idea. Say these other ones, these other rums I've got absolutely no idea because they're not UK market. 100% not UK market. So I generally don't know about a 7-year-old white rum. that's complete news to me. Right. So Jeff McJeff, yeah, 18 years, but not how much? 20 mil. Yeah, see, even my 18 doesn't say years old on it, and I know that's the new bottles on there. Just says aged naturally on it. That's all it says. Doesn't say years old. So whether that is those bottles you've got are pre-2018 and pre all this kind of being more open and transparent with age classifications, I don't know. I generally don't know, but they don't. The website, none of the wholesalers like Master of Malt, Drinks, I keep saying Drinks Supermarket, Whiskey Exchange, all that, none of them say years old. They just don't. I didn't look at Amazon, to be honest. Amazon might say years old because they're not brilliant at information like that, but the big wholesalers 100% don't say an age statement. Yeah, it says 12. Average. Hang on, Windy, are you talking to me? It says 12 years, the same as yours, Steve. Oh, hang on. Oh, you're talking to Havana, Stephen, now. Yeah, take photos and whack them in the Discord. I'm quite interested to see that. Right. Has anyone done that already? Discord, let's open up. Members Lounge. Wow. I can see who's put that. Windy. Wow. Interesting. And that is the logo without the white volcanoes on the background. The white etchings of the volcanoes. So that's interesting, Windy and Steve. Really, really interesting. I can't see any differences on the... I know this is the new stuff. Because yeah. Let me see. Yeah, 2021. So I know that's it's got the, you won't be able to see it, but it's bold date on the back there, just written up the top there, stamped, etched on it, 2021. So I know that's I know these are the newer labels. So that's really interesting. At the risk of repeating myself, you cannot. They're not Solera. You're right. As far as I'm concerned, these are not Solera aged rums. I'm pretty damn sure. Flor de Cana are not Solera aged. That's news to me if they are Solera aged, but I generally don't think these are Solera aged rums. And they certainly wouldn't be putting 12 years old on a bottle if they were Solera aged rums. They certainly wouldn't be doing that. So I'm pretty sure Flor de Cana, as far as I'm aware, they've never been Solera aged rums, but I don't know. That's, I say, that's me going back 10, 15 years. I've never known them as Solera aged rums. Right, let's get on and do the old nosing, smelling, tasting. Lee, my bottle does not say. Good night, Kevin. Jeff McJeff's bottles in the old DMs. Oh, on Instagram. Oh, I ain't got that. Right, let's go to Rummix. Right, let's crack on. So, on the old nostril whiffs on this. Lots of vanilla on there again. There's a little bit of spice, a little bit of dried fruit on there again. I'm assuming a lot of you have got the 12 on here. So let's get a big old taste along, a collective sort of taste and nose along on this. And see what we're going. I've got those kind of sort of nowhere near as pronounced as the 7, but sort of subtle sort of Nutella vibes going on there again. I would say it's more, there is more fruit on this one though, and I would almost go towards tropical fruit this time. Flor de Cana 18, really good. Just to sip it as it's straw in the bottle. Okay. Right. I'm almost getting... There is a slight sweetness to this as well. Sugary sweetness. It's not toffee. So I would probably go towards caramel on this. It's a different kind of vanilla smell. I think there's more sort of caramel on this. Really, really faint sort of Nutella. So really kind of faint chocolatey hazelnut or chocolatey nutty, but nowhere near as the 7. Nowhere near. Again, it smells that it could be a bit sweeter. Bear in mind there's no sugar added to this. I just keep going back to Geraint's Solera age. I'm really interested in this because as far as I'm aware, I know I'm repeating myself, but as far as I'm aware, Flor de Cana are not Solera aged rums. I might have totally missed the memo on that completely. And if they are Solera aged rums, that completely justifies what I'm saying. But I'm pretty damn sure they're not Solera aged. But I don't know. Right. I'm going to lock these in. I can't really pick out too much else in this. There's slight woody notes to it, but no more than the 7. You know, it's not a woodier rum or an oakier rum than the 7. But it's pretty similar in there. So I'm going to lock in woody. I'm going to look at vanilla. I'm going to lock in caramel because I'm pretty there. I think I'm going dried fruit and tropical fruit. I'm getting a sort of sultana, raisiny, currants, whatever you want to call it. I'm getting those sort of vibes, but I am getting a slight sort of I can't really pick that. It's like sort of tropical note sort of vibe in it. So I'm going dried fruit, and I've lost my tropical now. I'm going to have to go tropical. Do I get anything else? No. Right, let's just go in and see what other people have got. Right, let's click that. So, other people. Vanilla, woody, dried fruit, spice, caramel, yellow fruits. What's yellow fruit? Banana. Unripened mango. Pineapple's yellow. What else is yellow fruits? Candied, leather, glue. No. Solvents, sorry, is up next as well. Glue and solvents. Spicy apple. Interesting. Alcoholic, apricot and pear. So a lot more people, bearing in mind it's been reviewed a lot more time. A lot more people are picking up more fruit notes off this. Oh, I get what I mean by that pear now. That's probably just planted in my head, but I can't, yeah, I can't. That's probably planted that in my head just reading that, but I don't get apple, but I can justify the pear. I might actually click that pear button. Right, and I just want to add tropical fruit because that's not there. Tropical fruit, there we go. Right, so fruit. I think I'm going 3. 3 out of 5 for fruitiness. Floral, 1 out of 5 again. Spices, I'm actually going to bring this, well, I'll go 2. I think it's more fruit forward than vanilla sort of caramel forward. Woody, again, I think it's more fruit forward than wood, so I'll give that 2. Roasted, 1. And rounded, 2. So 3 out of 5 for fruits, 1 out of 5 for floral, 2 out of 5 for spices, 2 out of 5 for woody, 1 out of 5 for roasted, 2 out of 5 for rounded. I'm quite happy with that. Much fruit, much richer, more weight, fruitier, and a little spice. Right. So let's go on to the old tasting. Instantly, again, such a light rum, a fruitier rum. That is one hell of a session rum. That is a rum that you can just drink. It's inoffensive, it's nice and light, it's crisp, it's a touch of fruit to it. There's no harsh peppery bite, there's no harsh woody oaky notes to it. That is a firm favourite. If you are the sort of person that loves the Plantation XO, for instance, that kind of lighter style of rum, that is exactly where the Flor de Cana 12 sits, and that is why it's so popular, because it's a really good rum to sip neat. Really, really good. There's no cloying sweetness. Yes, I get a little bit of caramel, I get a bit of vanilla off that, but it's not really thick and sticky. It's just kind of light and delicate. It's, as Steve said, it is richer, it is thicker, viscous than the 7. It's got a bit more body to it. There we go, that's the word I'm looking for. It's got a bit more body to it than the 7, but not a huge amount. It's not got the body of, say, the Appleton 8-year-old. It's not got the body of the Appleton 12-year-old. It's not those kind of, got those sort of heavier pot still rums in it. It's still a very light style of rum. Again, no sugar added. And no tannin. It's just delicious to drink. Right, what can we pick out? Carl's in the house. Hey, Carl. Just got back from dropping the motorhome to Telford. Oh, out on high. It's entirely multi-column distilled. Yep. Way less. I agree, the juice is nice, but if the statement you made is correct about the age, I can't buy it anymore. But that's the point. They don't. Well, all right. I was going to say they don't claim it to be years old. I genuinely think you've got older bottles there. because they have not claimed that it's still. Again, you could argue that the Big 12 is kind of alluding to the fact that it is a 12-year-old rum. Of course you could. But the thing is, you have, even when you're buying food in the supermarket, you have to look at the labels to see what you're getting. You know, I've had this chat many times with, it's a standard chat I used to have with chefs in the pubs, when I was running pubs and bars. Baby food, you know, we would get parents coming in with little pouches of baby food, and it might say like carrot and potato mash in it, little pouches like that, and it would end up being like 20 to 25% carrot and potato. The rest of it was all weird and wonderful stuff. So you've always got to read the labels and stuff. And booze, drink, you know, whatever, is absolutely no different. You can't. Yes, you could sort of say, well, hang on, they're saying 12 there, but they're not saying 12 years old. And I appreciate that your label does say 12-year-old, but it's like Ron Zacapa. It's got a big 23 on there, but now it doesn't say 23 years old. Swings and roundabouts, isn't it? So, but this is delicious. What's Jeff saying? Tasting the 12 and assuming the others in the range are similar, I'd rather be drinking the Plantation 3, 5 and XO at a price point. You're rating the 5 over this. Wow, that's huge. I've not got... All right, completely different style of rum, completely different, but I've not heard too many people who would pick the Plantation 5 over that. That's quite interesting, actually. Completely and utterly different style of rum. Obviously, you've got... So, these rums are more on... What is it? What's that? Pacific, isn't it? Hang on. Yeah, the Pacific. So, these rums... so, this in Nicaragua, obviously Central America, is more on the Pacific side of... well, it is virtually on the coast, Pacific coast, if you like. Whereas, kind of, you know, Barbados is very much in the Caribbean. So, you've got different climates there. So different, the sugar cane will be completely and utterly different. The terroir will be different as well. So completely different styles of rum. Yeah, I mean, interesting. I mean, obviously Nicaragua, very close to what we got, El Salvador, borders El Salvador, doesn't it? Nicaragua. And a few countries. So Panama is right there as well. Guatemala and Belize are right there. You've got sort of further down, you go into sort of Guyana, so you get even the richer rums into Guyana, and then Trinidad, just off the sort of mainland of there. So you come all the way down there. But these, as I say, climate and terroir is very, very different to this. Right, I'm just guzzling through that. That's an easy drinker. So tasting notes off this. It's not too much on the profile. I'm getting it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous rum. I'm getting slight woody vibes. I'm getting vanilla vibes. I'm getting a subtle hint of caramel on there. A touch more softer fruit on there. Again, less dried fruit forward than the 7. More sort of tropical fruit forward. So it's balanced out in that sort of fruit forward for me. I'm just looking at what other people have got here before. I've done it in the wrong order, but other people have got woody, vanilla, spicy, caramel, sweet, mild, dried fruit, light, whiskey, leather, toffee, thin, figs, cardamom and dry. Right, Geraint said it again. Geraint, I want you to... I'm going to really look into this afterwards, because Geraint's got a bee in his bonnet about these being Solera aged. Now, I don't think these are Solera aged rums. So I know Geraint is very, very knowledgeable about rum, but I'm pretty damn sure that these are not Solera aged. I'm pretty damn sure of this. Don't hold me to that, but I'm pretty sure they're not. It's complete and utter news to me if they are Solera aged. Complete and utter news to me. So I don't know. Right, so let's just lock these in. I'm going for woody, I'm going for vanilla. No one's put caramel. Oh yes, I have caramel. I'm going to add caramel. No, dried fruit. No one's put tropical fruit. And I do want to add in a touch of tropical fruit. So I'm going to add that tropical fruit in there. Right. So sweetness, again, this is no sugar added to this, but I'm going to give this a 2 out of 5. It's got this lovely kind of easy finishing to it. Bearing in mind that the Plantation XO will have, it's got 20 grams of sugar added to it. So there's a lot more sweetness in the Plantation XO to the Flor de Cana, but the Flor de Cana is so easy to drink. Fruit, I'm going 2 out of 5. Floral, I'm going 1. Spices, I'm going 1 because they are dialed back. Woody, if I give it 2, then I've got to go up on the fruit, and that makes the fruit 3. I'm going to leave woody at 1. I want to give it, this is where I want to give it a 1.5. Because I don't think the fruit in it is making it justified to be a 3 out of 5. But I do believe it's more fruitful than wood. And I don't agree with it wood being 1 out of 5, but I'm going to have to leave it at 1 out of 5 because I don't agree the woodiness of it, the barrel aging of it is a 2 out of 5. So yeah, roasted 1, rounded, I think it's quite rounded, so 2. Okay, right, finish. I'm going to give it medium, but it's more medium to short. It's definitely longer than short. But it's definitely not an out and out medium either. It's medium short, but I'm going to hit medium finish on it. Right, comment, just going to have that in. Done. Right, final score. I've got to give this a score now. For me, has to go in the 80s. And I'm going 84. I'm going 84. Very good. Very good. And I'm going to lock that in. Right, let's see what it's averaged 70 of 74 reviews. Right, and here we go again. Look, this is just how I'm using, just so you can kind of see the little graph of this. So you can kind of see, hang on, I've got the finger right down there. So you can see some Rum Geek down there is giving it a 20, which is stupid. It's way better than the 20. It's way better than the 30, and it's way better than the 40. So the average scores, you know, they are pulling, those ones there are pulling these ones down. So you can see the vast majority are in the 70s and 80s, and a few in the 60s, which is fair enough. But all these are really pulling it down. So overall, it's a pretty well regarded rum. And we know full well it's the Rum Geeks that are kind of scoring this at 20. Or the sweeter spiced rum fans. If someone's had a dead man's fingers and then tasted that, you know, they are going to score that pretty low because they will be used to the sweeter spiced rums. Again, it's the same as the people that are used to sort of 70, 80, 90 pound rums. If that's what they drink and then taste that, they are going to score it low. All right. But if you are in that 50 pound category, that is a stonking rum. It is really, really good. So I'm quite happy with that. Right. I'm going to finish this. This is not going in the slops bottle. Right. Windy. Why is being Solera? Why are we talking about Soleras? I want to know why we're suddenly talking about Solera. If that is Solera aged, I'm really, really sorry, and I take it all back. But I'm pretty damn sure it's not Solera aged. As I say, I don't know for 100%. I'm pretty damn sure because they even talk about barrel aging on the website and all that sort of stuff, but they don't talk about Solera aging. So I don't know. I don't know. Right, let's crack out. Oh, I was going to do the cocktails for that. Look, to sum this up, I'm not going to bother with the cocktails. I'm going to crack on with the 18. Purely, look, Steve summed it up a treat, and I'm just going to echo exactly what his is. You know, I've already said it. If you've got the 12, there is absolutely no point in the 7. And for the price point at £27 when it is on offer, which is 9 times out of 10 on Amazon, and £35 Master of Malt. You know, why would you bother with the 7 when you can get the 4 as well? So yes, it's going to be a cracking rum fashioned. It might even be, let's very quickly do the daiquiri. Sod it. Let's just very quickly do it as a daiquiri. In fact, let's not bother it. Look, the 4, for me, it's always going to be the 4-year-old daiquiri. You know me, I like my white rum daiquiris. It's going to be a good daiquiri, but I'm going to prefer that. I know I am. So for me, there's absolutely no point. It's going to be a glorious rum and coke. It's going to be a great rum and ginger. It's going to be a great rum punch. There's no point in me doing cocktails with it. There really isn't. Right, let's get on and do the... Oops, hang on. Oh, no, that is the right one. The Flor de Cana 18. Right. 18. Let's come back. There we go. Boop. Right. 18. I'm just going back through these comments, slightly irrelevant, 75. Found Steve giving it 75. There is a reviewer on Rum Diary's blog giving it a 1 out of 5. Ouch. Right, let's crack on with this 18. The 18 is a rum that I'd be open and honest, I've not really... Even though you could look at the bottle and think, I've had a decent pull out of that. I don't know how I've had a decent pull out of it. I can't generally remember having too much of this. Neat. So I must have done. Right. The 18. Again, 62 people have reviewed this. So we're going to have a decent cross section of... and let me just see if I can zoom into that photo. So even a photo of that on the RumX app doesn't say years old, it just says slow aged. So yeah, it's interesting how there's so many different labels flying around for this. It really is. Right, let's click the magical taste it button. And let's do the colour first off. Well, I don't think there's too much colour difference between the 12 and that. So I forget what I did for the 12, but I think it was mahogany, wasn't it? That's what I'm going with. If it wasn't mahogany, I don't know. I'm going mahogany. I'm pretty sure I put mahogany. So let's have a whiff. Great show. I enjoyed it. Thanks, Lee. I'm not going anywhere yet, though. Right. This is... The coffee is back. The chocolate is back. That reminds me of the 4. Hang on. Let's get those out of there. Vanilla is back. Again, it smells like it's got a bit of sweetness, and that's really random because I know there is no sweetness coming off this. Coffee, that's all I can really pick off this. Coffee, chocolate, vanilla. Yes, obviously the wood barrel aging is on there as well. I'm struggling to pick up anything else. Right, so let's lock those in. Let's see what other people have got. Oh, right, okay, let's go through these. What other people have got? Caramel, vanilla, walnut. Okay, walnut. Hazelnut, mineral, treacle, sandalwood, smoky, brown, chocolate, dried fruit, wait for it, bacon. Bacon, what the? Bacon. Oh my word. No, I'm not getting bacon. Bacon. Barrel, earthy and ester. No, I'm not getting bacon. The funny thing is 2 people have put bacon. Right. I'll agree with the caramel. I'll agree with the vanilla. Is that sort of, I don't get the Nutella vibes. I get the coffee and chocolate vibes this time, not the chocolate and hazelnut vibes. But no one's put coffee. Someone's put chocolate. No one's put coffee. And it does remind me of, I'm going to have to add it because it does remind me of those, of coffee beans. Coffee, that'll do, coffee. What else? Wood, sorry, I've got to put the God knows what sandalwood is, but I don't know where sandalwood comes from, but I'm going oak. Barrel aging, essentially. Right. Again, if any of you have got this, I don't know whether Steve-O's got this. Steve-O's tasting along with me quite well tonight. Don't know whether anyone else is. Right. So, fruit. No, I'm not. Did anyone pick up fruit? Hang on. Pretty cool. Dried fruit. There's a few people with dried fruit. I'm not picking up fruit. I've got to give that a 0. I'm not picking up fruit of any description on that. Yeah, no, I'm not going to give that anything for fruit. And floral, I'm not even convinced there's anything floralness on there either. So again, I'm going 0 for floral. But spices, I am going to ramp up to 2. Woody, I'm going to ramp up to 2. Roasted, I'm going to go 2 as well. And rounded, I'm going to go 2. It's just no sort of fruit floral notes to it. And it's really interesting because it's very distinctively rum. You know, you're not going to mistake that for whiskey, but it has got whiskey traits to it. You know, it's got that sort of sugary sugar cane, essentially. You know, it's what rum comes from. It doesn't come from grain or anything like that. You know, it comes from sugar cane. So you know, there are some beastly rums that you could mistake for being whiskey, but this ain't one of them. It's got whiskey vibes to it, but it is very much rum. So yeah, right. I'm done with that. I'm happy with that. So 0 and 0 for fruit and floral, and then 2s for spices, woody, roasted, and roundedness. Right, let's get on and taste it. So. Sorry, I forgot to tell you the price of this. This is slightly coming in just over £50. That's gorgeous. Cool. That's really different to the 12. Yeah. Currently, both Master of Malt and Amazon, currently both £53 in the UK. However, I have seen that 18 come in at less than that, coming in at like 42, 44 on offer. Amazon when it's on offer. That is cool. That is completely different. It is more fuller bodied. It is more woodier vibes. It is more chocolatey. Not dark chocolate, dairy milk kind of vibes to it. I was getting more kind of darker chocolate off those vibes, but I get more dairy milk vibes off this. £50 for an 18, I think that's a bargain. Again, you know, I'm not going to get into the whole Solera aged discussion or that. As I say, I don't think it's Solera aged. I'm pretty sure it's not. But the average age, for instance, you know, if there is, I don't know, if there is like a 10-year-old in that, then to balance that out as an 18, there has to be kind of like a 25-year-old rums that have gone into that as well. 18 is £46 special offer on Amazon. Yeah. So here's the thing, right? If this is not Solera aged, I'm pretty sure it's not Solera aged, but if it, right, assuming it's not, to kind of talk through this logically, right? If that is the average age on there, of quite why they put an average age, I don't know. But if it is the average age of a rum, then depending what the youngest rum in that is, just say 10-year-old, right? And this could get a lot better if there is younger. But just say the youngest rum in that is a 10-year-old. To balance that as an average of 18, you are going to be talking 25, 26-year-old rums in here as well. So yes, it is balanced out with the younger rums, and I can see why Geraint's getting at the Solera age, because it does kind of, the way I'm kind of talking does lead you on to, you're talking about average ages, you are talking about Solera age, but the fact is, I'm pretty damn sure this is a blended rum. I'm pretty sure of that. I've never heard Flor de Cana and Solera being mentioned in the same thing, in the same brackets. So if we are talking about average ages, purely on barrels that have been blended, to get that as an average of 18, there are going to be some belters in there. There are going to be some 25-year-old rums in there. You know, to get the worst case scenario, if the youngest rum in there is a 15, then the oldest rum in there is going to be a 20 to average it, or whatever. To have 21 to average it at 18. Yeah. If the youngest rum in there is like a 5-year-old, then the oldest rum in there to get an average of 18 is going to be up in the 30s. Yeah. You know, to get on the averages. But I don't know. This is it. We're all learning, aren't we? We're all going around here. I'm saying some stuff. For me, the fact that it's so vague would most likely aid. No, you see, this is it. Flor de Cana have said average. It's not on the website, but they have on social media and other places. They do say average age. That's where the average. It's not me plucking it out of the thing. This is coming from Flor de Cana when they're talking about averages. Otherwise, otherwise they would sort of say up to on social media, on blogs, on marketing spiel. They would kind of say up to 18. They wouldn't say average 18 in there. You know, it's all like, brands are very clever with marketing, but very rarely do they ever outright lie. There's a lot of clever stuff going on, but to be an outright lie opens you up to a whole kind of world of shit, basically. So for them to actually kind of turn around and say, lawsuit in 2020 against Flor de Cana, the distiller states average. Right, okay, yeah. That's what I mean. To get, you know, you've got to be very careful with wording. Like, the whole reason Ron Zacapa got in trouble was because they said 23 years old, or 23 annos, whatever it was on their bottles. And they got rid of the annos or years old on there because they are Solera aged. So they got rid of that very, very quickly off the bottles. So, you know, there aren't too many people breaking the law. There is a lot of clever marketing and a lot of clever wording, but very, very seldom do people actually break the law and trading standards and things like that. So if you are claiming that that is an average, then all right, there could be a 17 and there could be a 19-year-old in there, which would give it an average of 18. You know, 15 and whatever it is, 21 would give you an average of 18-year-olds in there. So, and it ain't going to be 3 rums either. It's going to be a blend of 6, 7 different rums in there at least. So, yeah, that's kind of what you've got to look for. This is all knowledge to take forward for those who, I don't know how many, well, there's quite a few of you watching still. For all of you kind of embarking on your rum journey, this is stuff to really look for on labels. You know, this is kind of what the point of tonight was, that even though, you know, people think this is an age statement, you know, you've really got to dig behind, because especially coming up over the next sort of 2-3 years, you are going to see a lot of chances, a lot of brands, especially in the UK, and this is going to be predominantly from UK brands, because they're just going to go like Gin did. They're just going to see an opportunity. They're going to go and buy some rum from E&A Shear in Holland. E&A Shear will blend it up. They'll come back. E&A Shear will just give them the rum. They'll blend the rum. It'll be the brands that kind of very cleverly market it as like 100% Jamaican rum, like a 5-year-old Jamaican rum or whatever. But it actually won't be. So it won't be Ian A. Shear, it'll be brands. And you'll see a lot of this popping up. So the whole point of tonight was to give you like marketing insight into what to look for on labels going forward, because there is a lot of very clever marketing going about these days. Right. But an average, hang on, but is it an average age? Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Yeah, and you are completely right there, Fuzzbuzz. You are completely right. You know, it could be, to sort of elaborate, for those of you that don't understand what Fuzzbuzz is getting at. So let's just take my ballpark example. If, say, for instance, the average of 18, say there's a 15 and 21. So you've got between those. So you've got an average, you've got 15-year-olds and 21s up to, you might have like 16, 17, 18s, 19s, whatever. But to make the average, you've got the lowest one will be 15, the highest one will be 21. For example, what Fuzzbuzz is getting at, this rum could actually be, and the 90% of that could be a 15-year-old rum. It could be. I'm not saying it is, it's just how it could be. You know, this is what we kind of crave as we go further into the journey. We crave more knowledge and more clarity with things. But you could also argue this is a belting rum, and I haven't even scored it yet. This is a belting rum for whoever put Ross, I'm assuming it was, with the prices. Yeah, there it is, £46. This is an absolutely belting rum for 46 quid. So you kind of want to, you know, if you want to get all geeky about it and go down like the Foursquare, the ECS routes, and, you know, real open clarity with stuff, then you probably won't touch rums with sugar added to them. You know, it just depends what you want from your own personal rum journey. There's no right or wrong. For me, I'm not bothered, because I can kind of read between the lines with labels. And I've been immersed in that world for a long time. I know the marketing BS that goes on and what brand ambassadors will tell you. I've been there, done it, seen it, got the t-shirt. I know exactly what's coming. I'm just purely judging this on the liquid inside the bottle and the price. And for me, at 50 quid, that's a belter of a sipping rum. I absolutely adore that. I really do like that. My palate in August really didn't kind of appreciate that then, but now I really do like that. Really do. Right, let's get on. I forgot where we are now. We're on the tasting. So for me, vanilla, I've had a lot of this now. I'm still getting chocolate and coffee, predominantly chocolate. If I was going to give you in percentages, as we're talking about percentages, I would say chocolate to coffee, I would say 90% chocolate to 10% coffee, but there is that element of coffee there. So, I'm going chocolate. Again, no one's put... Right, so we've got, I don't know whether I read this out, but I'll repeat it if I did, sorry. Vanilla, spicy, caramelised, alcoholic, chocolate, nutty, woody, licorice, don't get licorice, oak, buttery, thin, caramel, cinnamon, sharpness, and sweet. I'm probably going to agree with 3 of those. Cinnamon, I don't really get the cinnamon off that. I think there's more sort of cinnamon. I think it was off that one. The 7, I think. I think there was more sort of cinnamon notes off the 7 than there was this. So don't that. I would go woody over woody oak. I kind of, at this point in my journey, I'm going woody and oak pretty much mean the same thing to me at the moment, to be honest. They probably do to most people. It's just some people will go oak aging. For me, I'm going to go barrel aging, which is wood. Am I getting anything else? Caramelised. I want to say, yeah, I'm going to agree with the caramelised, because I would go caramel. So caramelised, I'll agree with that. Spicy, no. Nutty. There's that faint nod to Nutella. Very faint nod. I'm gonna click the Nutella. There is a faint nod to Nutella. But that's, I'm going to lock that in. Right, scores on the doors. So sweetness, again, I'm going to give it 2. It's actually, I thought, I haven't touched this for ages. I thought it was kind of a lot harsher than what that is. It's actually not. It's really easy to drink. So 2. Fruit, I'm not giving it anything fruit. Floral, there's a slight, because it's light, column still, there's a slight edge to it of floralness, but not much. So I'm going to give it 1. Spices, because of the vanilla, I'm going 2. Woody, I'm going 2. Roasted, 2. Rounded, 2. So to clarify, sweetness 2 out of 5. Fruit, nothing. Floral, 1. And then the rest 2. Spices, woody, roasted and round 2. For me, finish, again, it's not long, but it's definitely not short this time. It sits firmly in the medium for me. Right, let's do that, done. Right, and then the scores. I've got to give this a score out of 100. I think this is very good. I actually think I now prefer that to that. And I love that. It's a very different vibe. I've got no idea what I gave that now. I can't look while I'm in it. It's sat on 80, very good at the moment. I'm going to go 85, I think. I think this is a very good rum. Middle of the road, very good. 80 is on the borders of good. 90 is excellent. I'm not going up at excellent. I definitely think it's very good. Middle of the road, very good. I'm going 85. I'm going to lock that in. Right, let's see what other people... Oh, hang on. I'm just looking at the spider graph here. Oh, right, yeah, no, it's all right. I was looking at the nose. The spider graph, yeah, no one's really giving it fruit. No one's really giving it floral. The big vibes are sweetness, round, woody, and that. So people do agree with me that it is definitely more wood and spice forward than fruit forward. Right, let's go to... So 64 people have reviewed this and it's averaged 72. And again... Wow, look at this. So this is where it's averaged. Again, there's some complete and utter numpties down here. They're voila. So we've got 2 people in the 30s. There, you can see that now. 2 people in the 30s, 5 in the 40s. It's a damn sight better than 30 and 40 in that. So you can kind of discount those. The vast majority is in the 70s, though. There's quite a few in the 80s, a couple in the 90s. You know, the vast majority... if the lower ones are in the 60s, you can see how people do kind of appreciate and like that. So I'm quite happy with that. My opinion of that is changed massively. The comments have died. Are people still, how many people? Yeah, there's still quite a few of you on. The comments have died. So obviously no one has got that to taste along with me at home. I know full well that's going to be a cracking rum fashioned. I wouldn't use that in a daiquiri. Rum and Coke, let's, you know, question. Hang on, right, Anne. I'm off. Cheers, Anne. Anne, let me know through the week when you get your little care package for next week. Hopefully you'll get it. As I say, Trevor's got his, so hopefully you'll get it. Ross Barber. Right, here's a stunning question. Now you appreciate the 18, are you tempted to try the 21? Yes, I am massively, but I'm fully aware that I can do that on the live streams. I can do that. I'm fully aware that this channel is all about the £50 and unders. I don't want to start to go down this rabbit hole at the moment where I'm kind of tasting rums that are well above 50 quid. I don't want this channel to become that just yet, because even, you know, the comments, for those of you that don't kind of realise, you probably should do, most people should do, but, you know, videos don't die off. They keep growing and growing and growing. So I still get comments on all the other videos that I've released in the last 8-9 months from people just starting their rum journey. So, you know, I'm appreciating there's quite a few people catching up and watching videos and all that sort of stuff, but I don't want to lose sight of the fact that the audience I'm drawing in, and I want to be able to help those, because ideally I'd love, say like in a year from now, I'd love to sort of migrate this channel on a little bit to the more expensive rums. And perhaps, I don't know, perhaps we do a different rum show, or perhaps different rum reviews or whatever. I don't know how that looks at this precise moment. But yes, I do want to start to try older rums. But for the sake of YouTube and content, I don't really want to put out too much content that is above that paid threshold, because I'm fully aware that people are still coming in and wanting to know, you know, they're really curious about Bacardi 8-year-old because they've been drinking like spiced rums and stuff like that. That is the market that no one's really talking about and educating about. Yes, there's plenty of people educating and blogging about the really expensive rums, but no one's really talking about these rums, and that's kind of one of the niche that I like. So yes, while I am curious that I want to try it, how that looks pure on content, I don't know. Maybe a dram, maybe a taste along. You know, this could be what the taste along looks like. And again, I'll give a shout out to next week. So next week is the Craft Rum Club, but followed on at 9:30 by the Plantation. That's maybe how we kind of take the membership community, the Discord, the sort of paid members area. We maybe take that in a direction where we collectively, instead of me just getting a bottle for me behind here, we collectively get the bottle and we try it on a live. I'm open to that sort of stuff, because then it's not just me, it's kind of, we can collectively give opinions to other people watching. I don't know, there's lots of decisions to be made. Right, Fuzz Buzz, what rums have you scored in the 90s and what would you recommend over the Flor de Canas? Right, Fuzz Buzz, I think, can I see that? I've forgotten how I find that quite easily. Explore, extend. Which one is it? Extend. Statistics. Do I give statistics? Independent bottlers. It's a very good question, Fuzzbuzz. I don't know how I find it, because Oliver's still building this app out, so I don't know. Maison France, so Plantation, is averaging 89 out of 100 on 4 reviews for me personally. So I'm guessing I'd go now. Oh, we could do it by Jamaica is also, I've averaged on 4 reviews, I've averaged 85. So I'm guessing I can do it that way. Yeah, so it's got to be Plantation. Yeah, okay, so all right. Kind of irrelevant because this is a spiced rum score and not a rum score, but the Cane Rock I scored in spiced rum terms. I gave that a 90 because that is a belter of a spiced rum. Probably one of the best spiced rums I've tasted. Up there with the Pusser's Gunpowder Proof spiced. I love those, but those spiced rum scores. So the next one I did was, the XO I gave a 90. I haven't rated the Barbados yet on here. I'm just looking actually. 87, the OFTD. Oh no, I'm giving that away. The OFTD video hasn't come out yet. Ignore that. You didn't hear that. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to go through this app properly to kind of work out how I get different scores. I haven't actually reviewed. That's why when someone said I'm the top reviewer, I know I'm not, because I've not really reviewed that many rums on here. What was I most scored? Jamaica. Appleton 8, I've given an 85. Smith & Cross I gave an 82. Worthy 109, I've given an 85. And Jamaica, Cuba and all that. So, okay, what was the second part to that question? What rums have you scored 90s or that you would recommend over the Flor de Canas? Right. So, on the white rum steaks, I genuinely would still recommend the Ron Cube over the Flor de Cana. I love the Flor de Cana whites 4. That sits there so we can see the lovely jubbly. I do like that, but I'm still going Ron Cube and I'm still going Plantation 3 stars over that. And on first initial taste, the Montagna Platino. But I haven't done them properly tasting yet. So that's on the white. The 7, we've kind of clarified, it doesn't really have a home when the 12 is so cheap. So I'm kind of not going to talk about the 12, talk about the 7. The 12, for me, it is a stock because it is nice and there. But the only rum I can really relate that to is the Plantation XO. It's very similar in styles. See, what I would say behind me at the moment, I haven't got too many what I would call out and out sipping rums, because there aren't that many that fit under 50 quid when we're talking about 12-year-old rums. The Appleton 12-year-old is a stunner. It's a very different type of rum, but it is a stunning sipping rum. It's really, really good, but very, very different. Very different to the 18 as well. It's one of those, you can't replace that with that because they're completely different. It's like drinking blackcurrant cordial and orange cordial, or blackcurrant squash and orange squash. You know, they're just two completely and utterly different things. So I can't compare them. It's a tough question. Really tough question. Right. So yeah, hopefully you kind of get where I'm coming from for now. Simply similar styles-ish. The only one I'm going to go is the Flor de Cana and the XO, Plantation XO. They're the only two. But even then, again, they're completely different. You know, this is unsweetened. That's got 20 grams of sugar in it, so it's got a little bit of sweet. But it is not as sweet as you might think it is. So they're very, very different. And I want to get into the Mount Gays as well. I haven't gone down the Mount Gay route yet. That we were going to do that in a live, and that got completely shelved. But that is still coming. So the other 2 Mount Gays in the range. Again, the Dawley's 14. I think is roughly. I forget the price of that. I think it's just over 50 quid. But I might try and look for the Dawley's 14 in that. And I might try and look for some of the Real McCoys in there as well. But again, they're more expensive, so they don't really fit in the £50 bracket. Eldorado 12 is a very different rum to anything I've tasted there tonight. So, yeah, it's tough. I tell you what might crop up, actually, is the Ron Santiago de Cuba, the 12. That is on my radar, actually, and that could be an interesting one to try. But, again, that... where is it? That one. I've got these in the wrong order. Yeah. There we go. That's why it didn't work. So the Ron Cube is a 10-year-old Cuban. And I would say that is completely and utterly different to the Flor de Cana. Completely and utterly different. Way more wood forward than fruit forward. Like, that's a grown-up sipping rum. That Ron Cube 10. Really grown-up sipping rum. And maybe a stretch too far on your journey, but I haven't tasted the 12, the Santiago 12, and I kind of want to do that. And I'll tell you what else is coming as well, is the Havana Selection de Maestros, the Cuban barrel proof. The Selection de Maestros is what it's called. So they're coming as well. I'm really interested to sort of try those. Then the next one's on my radar. Right. We're just scrolling back. Right, no, that's where I'm just kind of looking for that. Right, now, there we go. There we go. Ross or 24, whichever the next one up. Right, okay, I'll give it a go and place on my order list. Okay, a fancy bottle of the 18 now. I find an 18 that beats it. Don't know what that is. For under 60. I don't know what Scott, I don't know whether you're talking to me or something. I don't know. Find an 18 that beats it for under 60 quid. Yeah, I mean, it's just a great price point. I mean, that 18, 53, and I think Ross put it in at 40 something, somewhere. I forget where it is now. But that's just a stunt. It's a great value rum, it really is. Right, I need some water in there. Let's get some water going in there. Let's go through the other comments. Right, Scott, if you press the search and it ends, says, if you press the search, on Rumex, I'm assuming we're talking about, and tasted, done. Yeah, you just have to. I can't put numbers in search though. No. So I just have to endlessly scroll through the search. Let's go back. Right, I looked at the price in 2007. Kay, you should have said. See in the Discord. That's what I said. Kay, I've not seen you in the Discord for flipping ages, but there's still plenty there. There's one more there. If you want to get involved, get into the Discord and just say hello, and I'll link you to the thing, and then you can get involved. I can still send that out quite easily, but I need to know tomorrow, and I'll send you if you want to play along just to the sample. As I say, there's 15, 16 of the guys. They've all got their little samples in there. You know. They've all come out of that bottle, so you know you don't have to buy the whole bottle. That was the whole point. But come into the Discord, Kay. We haven't seen you for flipping ages in there. Blue Star is your rating. Yeah, I know, Scott. You just have to scroll through a lot, mate. That's all to find. You know, I can't put it in rating order. Essentially, like at the top of mine is the Ronza Kappa. You know, it's 64, and then the next one's Plantation XO at 90. And then Pampera 80. There's no specific order. I can't order them. Oh, I can. Oh, hang on. Apply. Oh, I can. Oh, Scott, you've probably put this now. Right, I can go into the tasted, and I could go to the little funnel, and I can sort. But oh, he's all changed this, isn't he? Well done, Oliver. Well done, young Oliver. So I can sort it by my rating, which I've done. And now it is in my rating. So my highest, right, here we go. Right. So in order of my rate, so I've scored, I haven't given higher than 90, but I've given 3 90s. Plantation XO, the Dictador XO Insolent, the silver bottle of Dictador, and a little sample, and the Plantation Spiced. Spiced, you've got to, I make notes of this, but Spiced, for me, are different scores to rum, okay? Then the Plantation 3 stars have scored 88. The St. Lucian's Chairman's Reserve Vintage, I've scored 88. Equiano, the gold, that Equiano, I've scored 88. I'm not telling you what the OFTD is scored because that's videos coming up next week. Black Tot is 86. Angster is 1787 is 86. Whole bunch of 85s. Wow. Flor de Cana. So the Flor de Cana 18 for me sits alongside English Harbour 5, the Pusses 15, the English Harbour 10, the St. Lucia's 1931, the Appleton 8, the it's a Spice, I'm not going to say that, and the Worthy Park. So yeah, even though that's 85s for the Flor de Cana 18, they're all 85s. It's a very different rum to the English Harbour, but I've scored them both the same. I've scored them both 85. Very different rums though. Yes, that's quite interesting to sort through all that, isn't it? Oh, okay. Right, okay. Well done, Scotty. Well done. Right, where do we get to? I've got to scroll up. Right, there we go. Are you still doing cocktails? Got my shaker ready. No. Fuzz Buzz. I want Plantation XO, but it's almost double the price of Flor de Cana 12. So that's the point. You know, Flor de Cana 12 at 50 quid is... Oh, hang on. You're in the US. Ah, see, there's similar prices here, actually, in the UK. That's interesting. Oh, no, sorry, in the 12. No, it's only like a tenner more expensive. So what's that? $14, $16 more expensive. It's not that much more expensive. Right, Fun Steve, just First Buzz bottles. Right, okay, First Buzz, but you're chatting amongst there. EXO is stunning, but early on in your journey, First Buzz, I wouldn't say that. Scott, right, night all. Ross, see you later, Ross. You can find right. Jeff McJeff, there's a question. Got one of those weird make your own rum bottles, rum wood chips as a gift. It states add a liquor and leave 8 weeks. Any tips? Thinking so yes. Have I got any tips? No, but a company did reach out to me. I think it was last week now. Not sure it was this week, but a company did reach out to me and offering to send me stuff, and I couldn't work out what relevance it would have to me. Because I'm not really interested in aging rums. I want to smell different woods and sort of pick out, right, this is, I can pick out sherry, I can pick out Madeira, I can pick out like barrel, but I want to know what like sandalwood is and cherry wood and what of the woods we were getting off there. Yeah, so I don't know. I generally have no idea about that. Would I want to age amaretto? No, I wouldn't. Amaretto is amaretto. It's like almond liqueur. It says add... Right, hang on. Right, Jeff McJeff. I think you're getting something confused. I think it probably says add your liquor, not liqueur. I think that's the difference. If it's an American thing, it probably means liquor and it doesn't mean liqueur. Why you would want to age liqueur, I have no idea. Liqueur and liquor are very different things. That is liquor. These are liqueurs, all right? So I'm pretty sure it wouldn't advise you to age a liqueur. It would advise you to age a liquor, which is a very different thing, all right? So liquor is brandy, is vodka, is whiskey, is rum. It's what we call spirits. Spirits are liquors, all right? So, yeah. Stick with you, Scotty. I will. So that's what I mean. I just haven't played around with the app as much as I could do. I should do, actually. I kind of like that. And bearing in mind, I haven't actually rated that many yet in the grand scheme of things. So there's not actually that many for me to scroll through. That's quite interesting. If you want to know my lowest score, it's the Bacardi Facundo. I've given 50. And that was actually the most expensive one as well, I think. Right. Are you saving the 91s to 100s to further in your rum journey? I don't know. I don't know what stands out or jumps out at me as a 95 out of 100. And I often have this sort of... I don't know. I see. I don't know. Right. It's purely because 90 to 100 or 90 was it? 90 to 99 is excellent, and 100 is perfect. Right. There is no such thing as perfect. Anything can be better. So I'm never going to give 100, but excellent. Something that's very, very good to me is like really, really, really good. So to have something that's excellent is like, wow, that just blows your mind. And I don't know. I haven't had something that's completely blown my mind. I've had plenty of stuff that's just like, wow, that's awesome. But I don't know. Perhaps the OFTD might. It doesn't. But yeah, I don't know. I generally can't answer that. I don't know. And I'd like to search. See, I don't know. Scott, you're the man in the know. Can we search for other people's highest scores? How do we do that? Search, filter, sort by community. Overall, yes, we can. Well done, Scott. Well, good search. So, right, hang on. I can search by, let's go, 92. Right, I'm 91. I'm searching by and tastings. Yeah, that'll do. Right. Right, so these are in order of high scores. Wow, no one's given 100 yet. No one's given 100. 94 is a Velier release, and it's a Caroni, a 39th release from Caroni, heavy Trinidad, obviously. And on 76 reviews, it's averaged 94. So that's a Caroni, a Velier Caroni. We've got New Yarmouth, which is Jamaican. I'm sure it's Jamaican. It doesn't say, but I'm assuming it's Jamaican. We've got an 80 reviews, 1994 rum, 25-year-old. It's averaged 91 on 80 reviews. Caroni again, averaging 91 on 52. Hamden, Habitation Velier. Yeah, there's a lot of, see, it's Hamden, Habitated, Velier. There's a lot of Velier rums in here. Velier is like an Italian brand. Like Plantation, a different version of Plantation essentially. But they only specialise in like proper single cask release rums. So there's a lot of Velier rums in here that have scoring a very, very high scores. But, you know, all of them, you know, it's like 23-year-old, 25-year-old, 23-year-old. Oh, there's a 10-year-old there. 34-year-old, 20-year-old, 20-year-old, 25-year-old, you know, 22-year-old, 17-year-old, 20-year-old, 17, 26-year-old. You know, they're all the really long-aged rums. They're scoring in the 90s. So, yeah, I'm kind of thinking... Yeah, I was just in Windy's thing. Hang on, before I get to that. Fuzzbuzz Canada. Kay, I think I've put it. Kay, if you just comment anywhere in the membership area, I will reply to it. Just comment somewhere like in the membership thing. Just put me at Steve the Barman, and I will reply to the link. And give you that, and then you can see the details of that. Maybe Junior 30 infused gin. Okay, Rose Mullin. Rose Mullin had me smiling. Yeah, it was good, but it's, you know, it's not an excellent rum. It's a very good dark rum. For an English rum, it's very good, but in the grand scheme of things, you know, there's still going to be better. Right, caught this after started, had to step away and back to finish. Hello from California. Hello, I can't even say that. Tigre de Papel. Tigre de Papel. Hello from California. Anyway, Windy's just put tiger face. I like that. Right, 1981. Okay, we'll do. Right. Cool. So I think I'm going to finish that there. Don't forget to tune in next week. We have got, hopefully, if I've still got on it, if I've still got a Craft Rum Club thing. No, I haven't. I've deleted it off here. But we have got Craft Rum Club coming up next week, and the Plantation Taste Along at 9:30 next week. It's going to be funny. We should have the brands on next week as well. So Spiced Rum brand and the Rum brand should be that. So get your questions ready. I'll have headphones this time so I can hear them chatting off the software, and then also like see the comments in real time. Which I failed on the last time. I needed headphones in last time. Completely didn't done that. So next week should be loads and loads and loads of fun. And now that Charlie's just joined us over in Australia, I'm off to bed. Sorry, Charles. Charlie's just woken up in Sydney. The Australians are now in the house. I'm off to bed, mate. So I'm late. I need a wee, and I've started to get a headache, so I need a wee. But thanks for coming. You can chat in the Discord. Kay, just message me in the Discord. Just mention me in a comment and I will reply to you. I'm sure Scott will be all over it as well. But yeah, thanks, and I will see you next Sunday for the Taste Along and the Craft Rum Club. Should be awesome. Thanks for watching. Toodaloo.